All right then. Enough of this boring shite. Let's get a show on the road. Once a month, just like a girl having her period, 3 wee laddies converge in a radio studio in New York City. Then, for the next 3 hours, they drink and tell jokes about retards. And people around the world tune in and say, "What is this shite?" This shite is the Lazlow Show, starring Big Wayne.
Yeah, I always fuck around with my old lady, and I say if she ever dies, I'm going to keep her an extra couple of days to do all the fucking things she wouldn't let me do to her.
Reed Tucker.
She was peeking around a wall, and she was holding a handgun. I shot her face off.
And Lazlow.
Do you want it from behind while you play Super Mario Brothers?
It's a show by men who remember freedom before seatbelts and helmets and condoms, when you could drive drunk and feel up young girls and sing along to rock power ballads and smoke in bars and get in fights and wake up in a pile of your own vomit with your eyebrows shaved off. This is the Lazlow Show.
The day that they're gonna throw it back to you. By now you should have somehow realized what you gotta do.
Oh yeah!
I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. Backbeat, the word is on the street that the fire in your heart is out. I'm sure you've heard it all before, but you never really had a doubt.
No diggity.
I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. And all the roads we have to walk are winding, and all the lights that lead us there are blinding. There are many things that I would like to say to you, but I don't know how. Because maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. And after all, you're my wonderwall. I said maybe saves me. And after all, you're my
We should probably think about changing the intro at some point.
Every week, 4 young laddies.
Yeah, doesn't apply at all.
No.
So this is the Lazlow Show episode. I had to look it up. Episode 49.
All right.
I've completely lost track. Wayne came in and did a shot and said, "Here's to episode 44."
They're all going to be 44 from now on. Everyone is episode 44. That's it.
Why?
You can't keep track, so it's easy to remember that number.
Well, you can actually keep track.
Yeah.
So you knew this was 49?
No, but Lazlow did.
Only by looking it up.
Yeah, I had to look it up.
Which is the way you keep track.
You're right. So we're going to call this the either the Hurricane Sandy episode or the MRE episode.
Meals ready to eat.
We had a bit. We made fun of nature.
Yes,
on our last show.
Way too much.
We made fun of nature. Like, come and get us. Hurricane Sandy walloped this fucking town, and not till today did I finally get the studio back in shape. It was a absolute disaster.
What happened to it?
We were all underwater.
The studio was underwater?
No, when water was rushing in, I had to grab all the masters and tapes for 20 years worth of stuff.
I love that. You finally got to that position where you had that moment where water was filling your house and you had to decide what you were going to take.
Yeah. Now, when I was in the mega church in Oklahoma, they told you to just grab your Bible and run out the door.
Did you grab your Bible?
No.
Okay. Do you have a Bible?
There is one upstairs.
Okay. So what did you grab? I want to know. I'm curious.
Comic books.
Yes, that's what I would have grabbed too. Because
for the value of them, or
also because water will totally f them up.
Yeah.
But also, you got to have something to read when you're sitting at the shelter over at the high school.
Yeah, what I really want to read is...
How you get into this fucking shelter?
What I really want to read...
Walking?
Oh, really? And how deep water you think it was?
I don't know.
Well, in front of my house, it was waist to chest deep.
Were you in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went walking. None
of us evacuated, like morons.
I stayed like a fool, yeah.
So how did you survive?
I went back home and sat in the fucking dark, man. What else?
So you had no power.
No power, no heat,
what did you
no
eat?
hot water. You had some stuff in the house because you prepared for a hurricane. So you had your stuff like tuna fish and...
like an old homeless lady.
Exactly. You had your bread, you know what I'm saying?
So what you eat normally, you mean?
Well, pretty much for a day or two, and then it runs out.
So we did that show on, I think, was it a Saturday?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a Saturday.
Yeah, so it was like a week before, right?
And the storm hit on...
Sunday, the next day, I think.
No, the storm came in I think it was a Tuesday.
No, it was a Monday.
Monday,
Boy, we are really... Yeah, it was a Monday.
Yes, yeah, okay.
And wiped this fucking place out, dude. You know you are in trouble when you look out the window. Like, all the power's out.
Yeah. The
wind's howling at like 100 miles an hour. There's pieces of people's roof coming off and smashing into stuff outside.
Jesus.
And so, but you're in trouble when you look off in the distance and the electrical power plant is exploding.
Exploding, man. That was fucking wild.
Dude, it was like a fireworks show.
Green, man.
Yeah, the sky was like green because all the water rushed inside and water and electricity.
Yeah, they don't mix. So how long will you have no power for?
Weeks.
I went 21 days with no power, 24 with no heat.
And no toilets.
Well, I used mine.
You weren't supposed to.
Well.
See, what happened was people would flush their toilets and
it would just come right back up in the streets.
It would come up in the streets and then go into people's houses, which was fantastic.
So did you have turds floating around in here?
No, not in. We're not near one of the sewer pumping stations, but people near that.
Yeah, like in East Rockaway, yeah.
So what are you supposed to do if you don't have any power, you don't have any heat, and you don't have a toilet?
Get drunk. We got fucked up.
Fucking L, man.
Dude, we got wasted. So here's the thing that was really weird. I've never been in a situation where where you wake up the next day and you walk down the street and it's like a nuclear war happened. You got no cell phone. There's no cell phone service at all on both of my phones, which are different providers. And the streets are just, there's cars that have just been washed by the ocean, picked up by the ocean and thrown all over the place. Cars that burnt up. The other thing that I learned is do not keep your car in the garage if there's going to be a flood, because the water comes up, it shorts out
the garage doors.
The electronics in the car.
Oh, yes, that too, yeah.
And that's how a lot of houses burned down, because they had the car in the garage.
Is it?
Yeah, the car.
I didn't hear that. That's interesting.
So 2 blocks from here, there were 8 houses that burned, one after the other. It was chest high water. There was guys in wetsuits that were feeling around to try to find the hydrants to try to put the fire out. And of course, and then there's no water pressure on the hydrants because there's no electricity to pump water into the main tank. It was
fucking crazy.
Dude, it was the craziest experience of my life.
You guys got to move to Brooklyn. Come on. What are you doing out here still?
So
third world place.
Dude, pieces of our boardwalk. There's a 2-mile boardwalk here. Yeah. Entire sections of it picked up and washed like 5-6 blocks.
6 blocks away, no problem.
Streets with 2 or 3 feet of sand just washed straight out of the ocean down the streets.
Wow.
It was apocalypto bullshit.
And then what became more crazy was people immediately worry about mold and everything. So they started ripping their fucking
mold. They were worried
out.
about black people.
Reed, you.
They were worried about looters.
I bought into that a little bit too much, I gotta say.
Did you get a gun?
I have to say it's on my bucket list. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry, hold on.
To shoot a looter?
No,
to shoot a black person.
No,
okay.
No, I gotta say, that whole time that whole thing went on, I heard a couple little stories, and at that moment, I said I would like to have a gun.
You heard, dude, there was looting happening during the storm.
Yeah.
What was being looted?
Pills.
Yeah, I heard a drugstore.
Pills.
Yeah.
All the drugstores got hit.
All the drugstores got hit.
Holy crap.
Dude, there was water in the drugstore. There's people wading in there going, give me them fucking Vicodin.
But Reed, what was even more is as the garbage started to get piled up in the street, you couldn't believe people's personal possessions for their whole lives just on the fucking street.
Wow.
I mean, the garbage was insane.
Oh, yeah. There was, on this street that we're on right now, the sidewalks had 6 feet of garbage.
Trash, yeah.
Just trash. Everything inside people's houses was just wasted.
Oh, that's terrible, man.
It
was, man.
Is it back to normal now?
No, the town is fucked. Dude, it's not even... See, Wayne's been unemployed for a long time, and I would tell him to work at McDonald's. The McDonald's isn't even open in this town, dude. I swear to God, dude. Half the businesses in this town aren't even going to come back.
Yeah.
Ever. Because they didn't have flood insurance.
Oh, okay.
Because you wouldn't think the middle of town is going to flood.
Right.
I mean, we are on an island, but we've never had... This entire island has never been underwater before, and this entire island was underwater that night.
Man.
And dude, the tide came up. I thought we were fine at like 7-something o'clock. I was like, we're gonna make it through this. You know, the house is shaking apart. My solar panels are flopping around up there. But it was a pretty scary situation. But when I heard a blood curdling scream outside, and I ran out there, and it's pitch dark because there's no lights. But there's enough light to see, and I see a wave coming down the street. I'm like, we are in fucking trouble. And then you look down the other street, and and there's water coming up from the bay. The ocean met the bay.
Wow.
Dude, it was not... I was like, this shit is real. Ran in my studio. I'm like, Grand Theft Auto tapes. I'm like, I grabbed everything that was on the floor in this studio. I grabbed the equipment, the computers. I put all that on the second floor. I grabbed... Dude, I probably have like these comic book boxes here. I've got like 15 of those motherfuckers under the steps.
Wow.
Under the front steps. Comic books from when I was 16 years old.
You grabbed those?
That's the important thing, you see, is my comic books.
Oh, man. Save that old issue of Wonder Woman.
Dude, and it was crazy. The next day you start hearing all these stories. I was carrying a knife around. I was ready to cut a motherfucker.
Reed, I can't. So my wife stayed with me for 5 days, and then we had a friend that had an apartment in Manhattan that had power. So I took her and the cats there, but I came home. This is how I bought into the looter shit. That the first night I sat there, I realized, about the biggest thing I got in here is like a big butcher knife. So sure enough, I take this thing out, and now, Reed, no lie, there was drinking and smoking. That's what you did to pass 7 hours of evening to bedtime. There was nothing to do. Not a fucking thing. So I bought into the whole thing that someone's going to knock on my door and try to kick in and be like, oh, yeah, we know you got something. Mate, what do I fucking got?
Well, I was going to say, to be fair, what really do you have to steal?
Right. Do you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I started getting fucking paranoid. And I realized a couple nights as more I drank, the more I looked around and was like, well, what are you going to do if someone comes in here? What are you going to do if they do that? What do you know? So I'm looking around. I got nothing. So I go to my friend's house in Point Lookout down here. And I start going to his house. I'm like, I need like a baseball bat, a golf club. I need something. You got to have your weapons. I find a fucking axe. What? Okay, hold on. This axe has been like used to like chisel concrete. There's not a sharp point on it. If I had to hit somebody with this, it probably would hurt my arm more trying to kill him with it than it would have done damage.
So you're wandering around town like a vigilante with an axe.
Wayne went slightly crazy during the storm.
I have to say, at night, yeah, dude, when all the power went out, I'm the only one in my apartment building. And, you start to hear like weird shit. About the third night of this, I start to hear like a convoy come past my fucking house. And it's the fucking National Guard.
That was the freakiest, seeing people with machine guns coming down your streets.
Machine guns mounted on the fucking roof of the car.
That's good. You want that.
Well, yeah, you did want that, but you're hearing it coming. It like says, well, what the fuck are they prepping for? I'm up here with a fucking dull hatchet.
So did you sleep with the axe, across your chest?
No, but you know what I'm saying? I left stuff around randomly that, if someone tried to break into my apartment.
What, you booby traps?
No, not booby traps, but I left.
Like Home Alone, some Macaulay Culkin shit?
Like I eventually ended up with a bat by the front door, and I had the knife on the table. I was prepared.
Here's the thing. The most expensive thing that Wayne owns is a flat screen TV on the wall that's broken.
No,
yeah.
It was broken at the time.
Actually, I think the most expensive thing
that
Wayne owned, he just smoked.
That was
honestly. Yes. What do you have? What would be the thing that they would come if to your apartment, what would they steal?
I have no idea, but who's this?
Dude,
When you're robbing shit like that,
Yeah.
This is a guy
it's like a lottery.
This
It's
is
like
guy
a
that
fucking
used-
lottery. You don't know if you're going to open up a door and find someone with diamonds or if you're going to find someone with fucking pennies.
No, that's true. But I'm saying what would you worry about getting stolen from your apartment?
Not a fucking thing. Reed, I was willing to up and leave everything.
No, you weren't. I asked you to come with me and go up to Massachusetts, and you wouldn't.
No, I didn't want to go to Massachusetts. I'm sorry, that wasn't working for me. I would have stayed in my own house.
Hold on. A place up
If
there.
I had to leave, if my building was condemned, and they told me that Long Beach was going to be condemned, and I had to leave, that's when I was leaving.
But here's the thing: we had no power, and it was cold. And I said, Wayne, come up to Massachusetts with us. We were here for days, and we were like, you know what? This is not going to get better. I mean, we knew the next day that this town was fucked for a long time.
Oh, shit.
But I'm like, let's go up to Massachusetts. There's electricity. There's a wood-burning stove. There's, plenty of, fun shit to do up there. And we'll be out of this fucked up place. He's like, I'm staying right here. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? What are you guarding?
That wasn't a matter of guarding. I wasn't doing that. I didn't see any necessity to leave.
Okay.
I had food. I had running water. I was fine.
Dude, and so I come over to see, we'd check on each other every couple of days or whatever.
Yes, you were.
He had a sweatshirt on that had, I swear to God, food all over the front of it. And
well, you can't do laundry.
So he just kept the same ass Grand Theft Auto 4 sweatshirt with fucking pizza sauce and shit all over
And
it.
I swear to God, since then, I've been wearing this pair of sweatpants a lot too. And I determined that I want to become like the Vinny the Chin of Long Beach and just walk around in my fucking bathrobe and pajamas.
You should.
It's a symbol. I survived.
But all right, so at night when it got cold, though, how did you sleep?
I gotta tell you, the sleeping never really was a problem. I have a fucking crazy down-filled blanket. It's good for 20 below, I think, something like that. So I was cool with sleeping. That wasn't really that. After a while, the food.
I might, yeah. That was the other thing. I said, we'll go up there. There's grocery stores that are open. Because here, dude, it was if you want to get food, there was lines outside of stores that did have stuff.
Yeah, I did that.
And it was cash only because, that's one of the big things that I learned about this storm is we'd gotten a bunch of cash out.
Yeah.
When the shit goes down, you still need stuff. Cash only, baby. And there was these people all I got is $5. I'm like, you're in fucking trouble.
Yeah.
So, dude, after a couple of days, people are lined up at City Hall with National Guard handing out MREs. Now, MREs are meals ready to eat. It's what the guys in the trenches or whatever.
We ate one. I ate one at the show at K-Rock.
I went over. Oh, that's right.
I ate one at K-Rock.
Well, this guy went down to City Hall. He went down to City Hall and got cases of that shit.
Cases of it, dude. For 24 days, that was my meal every night.
And it made no sense to me. I'm like, come up to Massachusetts.
And it really wasn't that. And my logic was, you know what? If motherfuckers go and fight for the freedom that I have to be here, have to eat this shit, it ain't that fucking bad.
So what, you don't have to heat it.
What
you
kind
just
of-
open
No, you
it,
do.
right?
No, you open it and it has these bags that you gotta put a certain amount of water into it, and you put the meal in, and in 4 minutes it's red hot.
So what kind of meals?
That's some nuclear
Yeah,
shit.
really. You don't want to know
They
what's
had-
in
It's a
there.
little
They had chicken
pellet
and they
of
had beef,
plutonium.
and I'll tell you what's funny is a lot of people say they have shit in them to control your mind and stuff.
Yes.
Dude, he went fucking insane.
They
dude.
turn you into a super soldier.
One of the things I did find that they do is they fucking bind you up. And if you think about it, if you got these guys out fighting in the war, you don't want them necessarily running into the fucking bushes to take a shit.
So you're telling me that
I got a little bound up after a couple
So you didn't
days,
poop
yeah.
for 2 weeks, is
No,
what
I
you're
gotta
saying.
say, I regulated myself. I find if I have coffee, I'm shitting. So every morning I had coffee. I gotta say, I had that every day.
Okay.
Thank God for a French press. All you had to do was boil water.
Man.
Yeah, and the other thing that I was really happy about is we've got a wood-burning stove here, which I think any home that is in a place where it gets cold should have a wood-burning stove.
I
Because
agree.
there was no fucking way to heat shit around here, dude. So if you didn't have, a wood-burning stove, you were cold as shit. And my neighbor, he's got one as well. And he had 8 people living over at his house because their houses were destroyed. So, and what's the other fucked up thing was, there's this farm up in Massachusetts that I'd bought half a fucking pig from. Half a pig! And we, when the piglets were born, you give a deposit. And then,
Brutal.
and then when it's, when it gets of size, then it gets slaughtered and it goes to whatever, the slaughterhouse, and we went and picked it up. I mean, it's a half a pig is a lot of fucking pork.
Yeah.
Filled up the fucking freezer. Mm-hmm. Well, so this storm hits, I got half a pig, And my neighbor, both of his sons, they both lost their houses. Their parents of one of the son's girlfriends, they lost their house. So they're all over at his place. Now, the nice thing is, I got beer on tap here.
Yes.
So that fridge actually stayed cold because I never opened it. Mm-hmm. And I'd bought, like, the day after the storm, I'd bought a bunch of ice because they were trying to get rid of all their ice. And so I iced the fucking thing down. So I had cold beer for days. I was the only motherfucker on the street with cold beer. And so I brought my grill over to my neighbor's house, and we grilled pork chops, all sorts of crazy shit. For several days, we were cooking this stuff. Huge feasts, and everybody got shit hammered. When I tell you, like, you woke up the next morning and you're like, God, I don't even remember coming home.
Wow.
Yeah. It was crazy shit.
Man.
I will say, though, and amazing enough how you see the good in people come out and something like that. I had so many people come to my house, Lazlow included, bringing me fruit. What I got lost in was I thought this happened to the world. I'm not watching no news. I have no idea what went on in fucking New Jersey. I'm hearing about fucking Fire Island a little bit through hearsay. But you really don't know what the fuck's going on. You have no news. You have no computer. No telephone, so, and anybody that is trying to communicate with you just want to know that you're okay. They don't, what I'm saying?
Right.
But I was amazed at the generosity of people that came to my fucking house and brought me roasted chickens and my one neighbor left and asked me to watch his cats. He'd come back every day and bring me his family owned a restaurant in Garden City, would bring me trays of chicken cutlet parmesan, ziti, salad. It was fucking amazing.
Dude, I gained so much weight after this thing, because all you do is get fucked up and eat. Because you've got entire freezers full of stuff, and everybody's cooking. They're like, oh, come over.
Yeah.
Right.
And it also made me realize we as Americans have too much bullshit in our freezers. I mean, just packed full of, do I need 4 to 5 bags of frozen peas? I don't need all this shit.
Well, yeah, in that case, you did.
No.
Oh.
Because they're not...
You got to eat it.
You got too much, we just got too much shit in the freezer.
Yeah. Just showed me the whole thing about how thin the line is between civilization and me just turning into a complete animal. It's about 2 days.
Yeah.
No electricity, no water.
Dude, once you're on day 5 of not showering, I got to tell you, my taint was the stinkiest thing in the world.
That's amazing because, I literally, because of all the damage in town, started working like 3 days after the storm. So I was out every day from like 8 in the morning till 8 at night. And when I'd come home, I'd be filthy with demolition dust all over me. And I'd be like, all right, I either got to do 2 things. I either got to man up and take the fucking cold shower.
Awful.
Which your apartment is probably, want to say, right now about 45 degrees. So can you imagine taking a shower?
No,
well,
terrible.
There was no water for a long time, though.
I tried that, and the water hit my back, and I ran out like a little fucking girl.
All right.
I literally was fucking outside putting sweatpants back on in a bathrobe trying to get fucking warm. But so I ended up, I will tell you, I did master taking a hot bath and shower.
Well, how'd you do that?
I have these 4 huge pots for cooking lobsters. Each one holds like 8 quarts or 2 gallons, I want to say. I would boil them up. I'd fill the bathtub up with like 2 inches of water. I'd pour in like 6 or 8 of those. And then I would put one on the toilet tank and one on the toilet bowl. And I'd sit in the tub and I'd get all washed up. And when I was ready to wash off, I stood up and I poured the hot ones over my fucking head. Well, you do this for 21 nights, you become a master. Since then, I've actually found something that they actually call a solar shower.
We lived like Haitians, dude.
Oh, dude.
Oh, you mean like a camping shower where they have you pour the hot water in the bucket? And
it's a bag basically that you fill, and then if you put the bag and hang it from the top of like the bathroom door, and with the hose reach in the tub, you now have gravity fed. You won't be able to stand, but the fact that the bag is higher than you, the water is fed. It would be nice if the bottle of rum appeared right in front of me right now.
It might. Oh no. What is that?
Reed, that's a problem. When you bring the bottle in, where you look, he's not even paying attention.
Oh, right. Okay, good. It was right by. What is it? What kind of liquor is that?
It's like it's the fancy maker's mark.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm really into bourbon these days.
But I will tell you, things go through your mind how much fun of me made of Katrina.
Yeah, I know.
And now I'm here, and it's fucking happening before me. Mm-hmm. And after a day or two, my wife is a little person. I basically got to keep nutrition in her, and kind of.
It makes it like she's a dog.
I know.
It was important to me that she kind of stayed eaten some type of...
It's important that she didn't die.
Yes.
That's really sweet of you.
The food that the military was giving you was okay. You know what I'm saying? You could live off it, but it wasn't... I'm not saying it's the healthiest. So anyway, we got out and we found the Red Cross truck.
Wait, so you're saying that something that's shelf stable for 20 years in nuclear apocalypse might not be might not be healthy?
I have to say. But the first time I walked up to the Red Cross truck, that's what's in my mind. How many motherfuckers down there in Katrina had this or nothing? You know what I'm saying? It isn't like a deli or something going to pop open down the block and start fucking making bologna sandwiches. As I went up to the truck, I was like, what do you ask? I don't even know what I'm entitled to. So the guy says, how can I help you? I say to him, what can I get? What am I, what are you giving away? He goes, well, we got bologna sandwiches.
That's like prison.
Fucking, it was a bologna sandwich, a plum, and I call it jungle juice. It's those little plastic containers. And,
How would you call Kool-Aid jungle juice?
Yeah, it's Kool-Aid, but it's jungle juice, man.
Wow.
Whoa.
Queens was racist.
Because these little ones are mostly sold in the ghetto. I will say that. I never seen them sold in the white neighborhoods. But anyway, as I walk back to the truck, we open the sandwich. Mine goes down like it was a roast beef sandwich, and I'm already eyeing my wife's.
Wait,
I'm already knowing that she can only eat half of that fucking thing, and I'm just waiting for it.
Wait, so you went to go get food and ate hers?
No, she was with me. But as we ate the sandwiches in the car driving away, as the guy was telling us where to go for dinner, I ate my sandwich. And I knew the minute I got mine done, first of all, I know she's not a bologna eater. But I was like eyeing it the whole time. I was like, come on, I know she's only going to take like 3 bites out of that sandwich, and it's either getting thrown away or it's mine.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's mine.
During the storm, because I didn't want to stay, and Girlie wanted to stay. And so I said, but okay, the only way I'll stay is if during the height of the storm, if we have sex. Mm-hmm. So that if the roof gets ripped off, it'll be like that scene in Ghostbusters. Where I'm like I somehow caused that with my erection, like the roof has blown off because of my powerful pelvic thrusts. Mm-hmm. But when your house is actually shaking apart and the ocean is coming in your house, you're not so horny.
No,
I gotta say you're not so horny.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. I don't think my wife left after 5 days and stayed away for like 9 after that. She was home like 3 days before I had sex. That wasn't even on my fucking mind.
Well, yeah, because you were too busy with walking around with a butcher knife in your sweatpants.
No, I calmed down after. Like I said, after about 3 or 4 days of being alone at night, and you kind of all of a sudden you realize that the wind blows and there's noises that happen in the hallway of doors moving and shit.
The thing was
that happens all the time, but now because you're fucking alone.
And dude, this town was pitch black and quiet at night, and you could see the stars.
Yeah,
I've never been able to. I mean,
true.
you can always see stars, but everything was so blacked out on Long Island and parts of New York City, actually, that you looked up and it was like you were out in the country.
Yeah.
It was bizarre. There was no light pollution.
it's like Waterworld up in here.
It was, dude. It was crazy as fuck. So that night, it was high tide at 8:52, and my garage is full of fucking water. My cars, are sitting in water, and at my front doorstep, I open my front door, and there's water even with the bottom of the door frame. I'm like, here we go. This shit is coming in. It is coming in, and the tide changed, and it started to go down. Now, my neighbor had parallel parked his car up in my driveway, right up against my garage doors, to just try to get it off the street. Everybody who had a car on the street lost it.
Yeah.
Like dude, imagine every car parked on the street dead, full of water, full of sand. I mean, it's the most insane thing I've ever seen. So he parks it up there. During the storm, I look down, and the lights on his car are on. And so I put on fishing waders and went out, and there's shit flying around and trapped. I don't know why I was worried about his fucking battery.
Yeah.
But I opened the car door, and his entire floorboard is full of water, right? I'm like, oh, this ain't good. And so I tried to turn the inside dome light off, because that's what I'm worried about, right?
Yes.
And I tried to turn it off, and it's not turning off. And I'm like, ooh, bleh. So in the fishing waders, I go down the street, and dude, I'm in feet of water in fishing waders. I go and I knock on his door, and I'm like, dude, your lights are on in your car. And he's like, well, we'll check it out in a bit. Well, once the water sort of receded to where it wasn't in the house anymore, at it was like 1:32 or so in the morning. We went out to his car, and he sticks the key in, and he turns it on, and water shoots out the tailpipe. Blah! And first off, when he opened the door, water poured out. That's always a good sign when you open your door and water comes pouring out on the fucking ground. So anyway, it's like and like all this shit is flying out of his tailpipe, but it runs for a few minutes.
It would be great if a fish shot at it.
And it's like, okay. It's running. Like it calmed down. It blew all the water out. And he's like, awesome. I got a car. Because that's the other thing you think about. Like, dude, when you're here and you have no fucking car.
How you getting out?
Scooter. And
dude, there was scooters floating in front of my house.
Yeah, whatever.
Motorcycles.
Well,
Really? There was motorcycles floating?
Yeah,
Really?
I had a couple motorcycles float. But I live right by the boardwalk. I seen huge sections of the boardwalk going down my street. That was just amazing. And it was funny, as Lazlow said, there was a big apartment house across the street from me, and their garage is kind of open and faces right out to the street. And as the car filled up with water, the alarm went off. And I was like, oh, fucking great. I got to listen to that fucking thing now till the battery dies, okay? I'm already pissed off. I got no fucking heat and hot water and no electricity. And this thing goes off. And me and my wife get chairs, and we sit right by the fucking front door, looking at that terrace, looking out over this parking lot. Well, the headlights of the car was our entertainment for the next 4 fucking hours. As I watched parts of the boardwalk floating by, trying to identify where that came from. So anyway, as he says, around 11 to 1 o'clock, it started to subside by me. And I got up in the morning at 5:30, and I got to go see my truck because I'm parked right here. And as I'm walking away in the street, I realized that my street in front of my house has enough sand on the street that you would think you're on the beach. Like you're not touching concrete. You're just walking on 4 or 5 inches of sand. And on 1 block away from me, there's a bathhouse on the beach. It's made of concrete.
Cinder block. It's made of cinder block, yeah.
And as I walk to the corner and I look, the boardwalk is gone. The building is fucking gone. And now as I turn
entire
to look,
cinder block building, dude,
as I turn to look
gone.
where my truck is, the boardwalk is all in front of my fucking truck. And as I'm walking to it, I'm seeing these huge sections of the cinder block wall there. As I get to my truck, I'm thinking, oh, my God, I'm destroyed. I should just throw a match and say it went on fire. But I realized that a garbage can from the boardwalk got hung up underneath my front bumper. And then a huge section of boardwalk, like I want to say 20 feet by 40 feet long, a fucking huge section, got hung up on that garbage can. And not a fucking thing touched my truck. I literally walked around, put my key in, my fucking truck started. 2 hours later, I was on the road.
Which is pretty remarkable because most cars were completely fucked. Yes. So my neighbor, we're both excited that his car runs, because it means, and this is like 1 something in the morning. And he's like, all right, cool. He pulls the key out. It stays running. I'm like, and I'm out there laughing. I'm like, dude, your car is fucked. So luckily it was a stick shift. And I'm like, you're going to have to
stall it.
You're going to have to stall it. So he stalls it. Well, that was his mode of transportation for the next few days. And we went...
Will you push start him for the next couple days?
No, you could...
It would start.
It would start, yeah. So, but every light... I'm telling you, every electronic thing, his wipers are on. I mean, the thing was completely hosed. So, but he's like, it's my only transportation. It is what it is. So we talked to our mechanic, who he lives over the bridge, and his whole place was under 4 feet of water. And this was by the way, this was an environmental disaster. I mean, I don't understand anybody that eats fish out of this water right now, because it's like when you have entire towns that the ocean sweeps through, just oil and fucking nasty shit.
Yeah.
But the mechanic was like, dude, don't drive that car for another second. And he's like, yeah, why? He goes, you're going to be going down the fucking road at 60 miles an hour.
Just shut off.
And your fucking airbags are going to deploy.
Jesus.
It happens with cars that are flooded in storms, as people are like, oh, my electronics are fucked. I'll be okay. But then, the airbag's short, and all of a sudden at 60 miles an hour, they go off.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, man.
So they go off at the wrong... So they go off, and then you lose control and hit something. And by that time, the motherfuckers have sort of deflated, and when you really need them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Dude, it was some crazy shit. So we went up to Massachusetts, and, dude, gasoline was a fucking drama. And when I tell you in Brooklyn, because I went and stayed with a friend in Brooklyn for a while, just so you know, once Rockstar opened back up. And in Brooklyn, there was these guys going down the street selling like those 5-6 gallon tanks of gas, those sort of plastic things or whatever, selling those for $100. Mm-hmm. Dudes drove wherever they went and bought a bunch of those gas cans and would come into the city, and people were so freaked out about gas they would spend $100 for one of those fucking cans.
Yeah,
it was
gouging, man.
It was unbelievable. But we bought a bunch of gas cans and candles and by the way, Chemical Chris was hanging out with Wayne during this whole thing. But both of them were so fucked up night and day.
Chris bailed after about 5 days, though.
When
Colleen bailed, he pretty much bailed. He'd come back every day, but he couldn't stay in his apartment. He was like, it's too cold. I don't know how you're doing it. And I have to you see the rum. I like to drink the Jamaican rum. I find it to be the smoothest. But the only rum that I could get was...
Oh, the liquor store was doing great.
Captain fucking Morgan, dude. I got to tell you, all the stores in the neighborhood would give you credit out the ass.
Really?
If you were a regular in any of the fucking stores, first of all, they only had a certain amount of cash to give back as change. Mm-hmm. And you start to realize that these stores, being compensated or not through the government for the loss of their product and their days, you know what I'm saying, they still have to come up with the nut at the end of the month to pay the mortgage.
Yeah.
And they're going to take that lottery chance that you're going to be faithful and come back and pay the fucking tab. After about a week and a half, I had 150 at the liquor store. I probably was at $300 fucking dollars at the little store where I buy my Dutch Masters and cigarettes. Because in the end, I didn't know how much longer I was going to go without electricity. And I kind of ran out of batteries and fucking candles. So, I would say to myself, well, I got to get another couple days. You have to know at least you're going to go another day. Now you start to see shit's available. You just have to say, I got to go this amount of time without getting something. But I was amazed at the credit that fucking people give.
So let me get this straight. As a guy who runs his credit card up in normal times, you ran your
I ran up invisible credit. Without a doubt, man.
Have you paid it off?
Oh, yes, yeah.
Good for you. So I love that. The world's ending. You don't have anything, and you spend $300 at the liquor store.
Right. The world, it's apocalypse. You go to the liquor store, it's like, can I borrow some money?
I gotta
some Captain
Jack.
Tell
you, it really wasn't that for me. Like I said, after I realized that my truck was okay and started, literally the next morning, I became very humbled with knowing that I survived something that was pretty devastating and didn't lose one fucking iota of a thing. My water never came near the height of I'm on the second floor. It would have to come up 22 feet. Mm-hmm. The water came in my building. There was 5-6 feet of water in my basement. And I got to say, I was pretty abrupt with, I have some young Spanish women that live in the building. And I walked up to the boardwalk at about 6:20 at night. And I left my house. It was ankle deep. By the time I got to the boardwalk, I was waist deep. I'm 1 block away. And I find fucking Chris walking off the boardwalk. And we decide to walk back up and go on the boardwalk. And as we get on the boardwalk, we see this wave coming in, and we're like, holy shit, we're getting hit with this. And it closed out before the boardwalk, but all the water rushed underneath the boardwalk, right underneath the boardwalk boards. And when it would hit the apartment buildings, it had no place to go, and it would come up through the cracks of the boardwalk.
And blow the boards off.
And I mean, it literally went up 2 or 3 stories. Mm-hmm. And, we didn't stay there. I mean, I think we were actually very fortunate if we did stay there. And as we walked away, there was so much shit in the water. I mean, shit was hitting you like, what the fuck's hitting me? And it wasn't until the next day that when the water went down, it was all fucking boardwalk. Metal railings, fucking garbage cans. It was
cinder blocks.
And then seeing cars move out my back windows on a major street was pretty. I'm like, oh my God. I was like, I'm starting to think like that tsunami in Japan. Yeah. And I'm like, you do start to say, where was my fucking judgment saying stay for this?
Yeah. Because the last hurricane, I don't know if you remember, but the hurricane the year before,
Irene.
We evacuated, and it was worse where we evacuated.
That's right, yes.
Right.
Than here.
Yeah.
And so we're on the phone with, everybody down here is like, woohoo, that was kind of crazy. But what's fucked up is on the north shore of Long Beach. It's what's called the canals, and it's really nice properties where they've got canals coming up, and people have boats, and they're able to go out into the.
And the land is very low to sea level.
Yeah.
Like in the middle part of the town, it's only a couple 20, 30 feet higher than sea level. The ground. So these houses are even at lower points than that.
So during Irene, some of these houses got a couple of feet of water. And they were like, well, that was a fluke. And so they, spent all this money, redid their houses. And
1 year later.
Dude, literally, I talked to people who had flooded in Irene, fixed their house up, moved in the weekend of Sandy. Like, here I am back in my house. And then blammo. Then they got 4 or 5 feet of water.
Damn.
In their place. So, dude, you walk on to this day, because I'll walk the dog a few blocks north of here, and there's still burnt up fucking houses.
Oh, yeah.
There's houses where you look in, and it's like there's, all the sheetrock's gone, and people are fighting. Here's the other thing. Insurance companies are fucking assholes. Assholes.
No.
Dude, this house was surrounded by water. The air conditioner compressor is completely fucked. And so they don't give you money to replace it. They give you money based on how many years old it is and how much you could get for it used. It's prorated or whatever.
Prorated, yeah.
So I'm like, I don't need to buy a fucking used ass air conditioner compressor. I need a new one, motherfucker. So like $5,000 we had to spend on this fucking thing, and they gave us 2. That's what insurance companies do, dude.
Damn, I know you pay in, and when you finally need it, it's they don't pay anything for it.
They're talking about in this town now that they're going to raise flood insurance. Some people their flood insurance is going to go to $9,500 a year.
What?
How do you fucking? It's insanity.
You got to leave, man,
dude. Meanwhile, there's people in this town like global warming's bullshit. I'm like, dude, we're going to be underwater every fucking year.
Did you see how many storms they got forecasted for this year?
No.
Yeah, they're up at like 14 and 6 that are going to be like really severe.
What, in New York area?
They can't forecast where they're going to come. They just know how many are going to get generated from the ocean temperature.
Gotcha.
I believe like in the Atlantic somewhere down there.
That's crazy, man. Come on. We had two hurricanes 2 years in a row, and I live in the middle of Brooklyn, and I had a tornado on my block.
Tornado in Brooklyn. I saw pictures of that. I was like, are we in Oklahoma?
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, people can't. Come on. Global warming's real, baby. It's real.
It's fucked up, dude.
I have to. My story that ended all for the Sandy story, I think, for this program, there is a shack that is across the street from my house that was probably built in like 1975. It's literally like 2 trailers put together to make it look like a home.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing that through those 2 storms, this fucking shack has not been touched. And I say to all my friends, a storm ever comes, that's where you'll find me. It's amazing. I swear to God.
How long did you go without weed?
Oh, I had weed every day.
So where was your dealer during all of this?
I actually deal with a guy that's in Forest Hills who I have to say.
Why don't you just give his name? Jesus Christ.
He retired. He's retired now. So, but anyway,
he made so much money off you.
Are weed dealers like guys that served in Korea? They've got a special hat.
I have to say, like after about 3 or 4 days, I started to run low and I started freaking out. Saying to myself, I gotta get some weed. And so I finally got cell coverage service after like 4 or 5 days, and I was able to give him a call. And he was in Forest Hills. So he says, yeah, come on in. I got power and everything. I get this. Like, I'm thinking like the whole country has experienced what I fucking have.
Wait,
you know what I'm saying?
So, like, you can't buy gas, but you went to go buy weed.
I had gas.
I know, but what I'm saying is, like, you couldn't.
Gas really wasn't, I think, a major thing just yet. And yes, I could have got gas when I was in Queens. There was no doubt about it. On Queens Boulevard, gas stations were open. Yeah, there was a line, 10, maybe 15
Dude,
cars.
it was the weirdest thing I've ever seen is lines for blocks for gas. It was like the 1970s.
Yeah. Wait, so would the weed dealer have come out to? Oh, he doesn't deliver to you. You have to go to him.
No, he would have delivered to me, I believe. Yes.
During the storm, you could have called him up.
No, not during the storm, but afterwards, yeah. He would have brought it or met me someplace. Yeah, sure.
Love that. He got to make his money.
Yeah. Reed, the other amazing thing was as you left Long Beach and went into, as Lazlow went up and down. There was checkpoints, but also as you drove, we're like an island, and there's a lot of little harbors around us, and there's a lot of little pleasure boats. I mean, up to like 40-something feet. You've seen these fucking boats on the streets.
Yeah, in the middle of the street.
Up against houses, up against businesses. You're like, there ain't even a fucking canal for blocks from me. How the fuck did this boat get here?
The other thing is people had like jet skis and stuff on their docks.
Yeah.
And when the water came in and the wind was blowing and all this stuff, these jet skis turned into rockets. And I talked to this one guy who had a jet ski come through, like a big living room window. A jet ski came and smashed through his fucking window.
Jesus.
In his living room. He had a jet ski in his living room.
Man,
dude, there was a couch. It was a couch on the jetty out here. It was that washed from somebody's house out into the. I've got a picture of my dog sitting on this fucking couch out on the jetty.
That's fucking great. So I was telling you about these women that live in my basement. As I came back from the boardwalk,
women that live in your basement.
Yeah, I was telling you. As I went up to the boardwalk, but as I came back, I realized the fucking one thing I want is a fucking hot shower right now, and there's still power. I'm not even thinking about anything. It's, street lights are on. And I get in my house, and my wife and another couple that came back to check on their house, and now can't leave, can't leave because they're here, and where the fuck they gonna go?
Right.
And so these two women are in the basement, and the water starts coming in under the apartment doors, and they're literally there with sponges and towels, trying to mop it up, and they're going to the kitchen sink and emptying the bucket and rinsing it out. And I go to the kitchen sink and I said, you can stop doing that. I said, because the water's not going to go down the drain anymore. Once the water gets so high in the street, it's going to start. If it's higher than the toilet bowl in the house outside the street, that amount of water is going to start to come in your house through the sewer. It naturally levels itself off. So I say to the woman, I don't know if you got green cards, fucking jewelry. Get your shit and come up to my.
This is what you say to Hispanic
This is what I say to him. I said, get up in my fucking
Get your
apartment.
green card. That was your recommendation to them.
Yeah,
get your
because
green card.
Get your citizen. If they lost all that, how hard would it maybe have been for them to prove their citizenship?
Dude, it was the apocalypse. Nobody gave a fuck.
Bullshit. So anyway, this is
bullshit.
The power went out in Long Beach around 20 after 7. Mm-hmm. This is, I want to say, is like maybe 7:40. So now I'm already fucked, but I'm still thinking I can get the hot water that's left in the boiler. No, it's fucking gone.
Played.
Yes.
So you weren't even able to take a shower.
I was about 2 or 3 days before I actually figured out the shower in the bathtub with the hot water shit.
Yeah, dude, you figured out a lot. And the thing, after like 4 days, I said, let's go up to Massachusetts, right? Let's get the fuck out of here and go live in a rustic fucking cabin up there, which is better than here. And so, you walk to your house and you're like, you don't know when you're coming back. Here's the weirdest feeling: is you walking through your house and you have no idea when you're coming back, and you have to decide, what do you load up in the car, what do you load up in the in the trunk and everything else. What is so important to you? I looted my own house. I went through here. I'm like, we're taking the Xbox.
You took the Xbox.
Well, yeah, there ain't dick all to do, dude.
Okay.
Once I unimportant to me. That's not even on my. That's not even remotely on my list.
I make video games. The Xbox is the most important thing.
There would have been a store that you could have bought a new Xbox.
Right, but it's cheap enough that you can't.
But also I took it so that I had something to play.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
So I took Xbox, a bunch of games, and I took a bunch of pictures. I brought like every computer in the house that got thrown into the into the trunk.
All this here.
No, just the computers.
Oh, I see.
All my studio equipment, I assumed, was going to get looted.
Okay.
You have these crazy. Plus, you've been getting wasted every day, and
you're hearing. You start to believe the shit that is becoming. Little gossip in the street, and it's like telephone as far as I tell you something. By the time you tell it to the third person, it's so had shit added on to. There was a rape,
Right.
I can't leave my wife alone. God damn it.
The thing, it's crazy that when you have like no real source of news or whatever, you just talk to neighbors, and a neighbor will be like, I hear there's Africans coming swimming across the channel.
I gotta tell you, I heard them referred to as bears, animals. It was unbelievable how I never realized how much hatred is really around me on a day-to-day basis. Till you get people that are panicking.
Oh yeah,
the bears. You know what I'm saying? I was like,
they call black people bears.
Bears and hamsters. Yeah. Long Island people call black people bears.
I knew that the cops
and hamsters.
The cops call them Canadians.
Canadians.
The cops in Long Beach, yeah, and they call the area of Long Beach that's like 4 or 5 blocks. That's sort of the ghetto of Long Beach. So it's primarily Hispanic and black. They call that Canada, so they can have racist conversations with one another.
Excellent.
Without what do you mean?
Excellent.
What do you mean excellent?
You don't think they're talking about? You don't think they got a word for cracker that we don't fucking know?
Oh.
The blacks. Did I have to say that even? How many people refer to us as crackers?
Dude, it's not 1975.
These are the cops. These are government officials.
I've never been called... A black person has never called me a cracker.
No.
That is straight from a fucking Richard Pryor movie. What are you talking about?
That's what I'm trying to say. They got to have a word that we just ain't figured out yet for the whitey.
Right, but they weren't the ones they weren't hosing us down to stop voting.
Yeah. Right, and they're not the police or the government officials who are in charge of you.
But yeah, the cops will call that area Canada, and they'll say all those fucking Canadians are all wound up again.
Man,
yeah,
that is
so
messed up.
So they're gonna have racist, but hamsters. I never heard hamsters.
I never heard of hamsters.
You never heard of the Hamster Fest?
No, why hamsters though?
The Hamster Fest is from all the black fraternities that go up and down like the whole East Coast, and they usually have them like these gatherings at beachfronts. So Jones Beach here on Long Island is known to hold one, and there's usually several thousand hamsters.
Well, I'm waiting for the part where the hamsters come in.
Yeah,
why hamsters?
What do they do?
I don't know that.
They run on a big wheel? Like, what are you
No,
thinking?
they have those big plastic balls. They run inside.
I have to say, I didn't grow up in Long Island, so I only learned it since I'm around people from Long Island.
Right. And I've never seen a black person clean themselves by licking their hands and rubbing their head.
Man, Long Island is straight up racist.
Dude, this place is racist as shit.
Old Italian, like, racist people.
But it is true. Like, you would be talking to people on the street like, I heard the black people are coming. I'm like...
Yeah. You know what I heard was coming? A big, fat, white guy with a long, scary beard that was carrying an axe.
Really?
I heard that. That's you, dude.
I am not going to lie to you. If there was food in the store and I was hungry, I'd be the first motherfucker to throw the rock.
You should have heard him and Chemical Chris.
Oh, here we go.
I have
sitting
no problem
around
with that.
fucked up, drinking and smoking weed, talking about when they're going to start looting.
Yes.
They were ready to loot.
What would you have looted?
The jewelry store.
What? You can't eat a diamond, dude. What are you going to do with a diamond?
I told you I didn't have to worry about food. I got to say, I lived like a king. Those meals are not. The food that was brought to me from what I had also myself was sufficient.
Right. That's what I never get, People always...
I can't lie.
Yeah.
The first night that I knew the local diner was open, I had to go there for dinner. Of
course.
I got tired of eating shit.
No doubt.
And I wasn't making myself a fucking meal, so I went there.
I never get all that. That Glenn Beck and all those right-wing conspiracy people are always like, when, things are bad, you got to buy gold. Buy gold, that...
You know what's going on with gold right now?
Yeah, plummeting.
It's in the shitter, which
exactly.
cracks me up. All these people are like... And I talked to my investment guy, and I'm like, well, maybe I should buy gold. He goes, here's the thing about gold. Unlike other metals... It's absolutely useless. He goes, it's in teeth and bitches' fingers.
That's it.
You can't use gold like you can silver and all these other things for industrial uses. Gold is just something people are like, I got a gold bar in my house. It's like, and I got to tell you, after living through an apocalypse like he and I did, a gold bar is useless.
Yeah, you can't eat it. All you can do is just brain some hamster over the head with it. That's about it.
I like your terminology.
I learned a new word today. Learned a new word. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Ugh. I got nothing in Brooklyn, dude. We had no damage whatsoever. I was just sitting in my house. I had power. I had hot water.
You had fucking power?
Yep.
Motherfucker. You don't realize how many times, after 20 days, you still walk in a room and fucking put the light switch on.
No, I believe it. I
you
believe
are so brainwashed that you hit that switch power, and you open the refrigerator and it's cold. Everything.
Yep. No, there was one small part of, Manhattan that had no power, and then out in the Rockaways on the coast, but every other part was mostly fine, so I couldn't get to work. But
well, the other thing that I'm kind of upset about, by the way, is we did this radio show, and I know that we don't really talk that much as the three of us, but we did this radio show, and we were sort of mocking the whole storm, and then we got hit by the worst thing that we've ever experienced. Okay, I got phone calls from people I went to high school with. I mean, people really reached out. Reed Tucker didn't give a fuck.
I did.
No, you didn't.
I did call you.
No.
Yeah, I did.
You didn't. Well, you didn't try very hard. I didn't have a fucking cell phone.
Oh. I did. You said I'm going up to Massachusetts.
No way.
Yeah, you did. I swear, I did.
He's made this up.
No, I did not make this up.
I remember being very pissed off at you for not
I gotta say, he did. I remember him saying something to me that
I
fucking
did.
Reed don't even give a call if I need clean socks or something.
I don't know what you're talking. I did. You said.
Just to let you know that the laundry in my house was behind, and one of the trips Laz made back from New Hampshire, wherever he's from, Massachusetts.
Wherever I'm from.
He actually brought my wife clean socks, brand new socks, if I remember correct. Yes.
Dude, yeah. I did. I either sent you an email or I called you, and you said,
well, you got to understand.
I can't. I'm busy right now.
Without this thing
place
called power, you can't have a computer.
No, but I'm saying he got back to me.
Oh.
He did. He said, I'm busy right now. I'll tell you about it later. I'm heading up to Massachusetts. And he's like, this place is fucked. How do you not remember this?
Dude, it was like we were in the middle of a war.
But you can't say I didn't check in. I did check in.
It's like in war movies where you don't remember part, and then later on you remember that it wasn't a chicken, it was a baby.
That we put in the oven.
You know?
Yeah.
Don't you remember the last episode of MASH?
I didn't watch Smash.
You didn't watch MASH?
Before my time.
It was not before your time. You're a year younger than me.
Yeah. I never watched it.
By the way,
70s.
By the way, we were going to do this show earlier, but Reed had to watch his faggy college basketball.
Who did you pick in the brackets? Who did you pick to win?
Michigan.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking loser.
Dude, no one else had Michigan even getting to the finals, so bite me.
I don't. But
why are you so fascinated with college boys?
No.
Do you follow any high school ball?
No.
Nothing at all, huh?
Mm-mm.
Wow.
Should I?
I gotta say, I caught a lot of the championships from the different leagues in the past month. It was pretty interesting, yeah.
I will admit to you that a friend of mine bought season tickets to the Brooklyn Nets. Mm-hmm. You know, they had this huge hullabaloo in Brooklyn, this area where it wasn't all that nice. And they seized a bunch of property and they built this big stadium. And, you know, I'm kind of against the whole seizing people's properties for rich people kind of thing. But god damn, good food in that stadium. But he's like, hey, you know, I've got, you know, a couple extra tickets. Do you want to come with me? Dude, we went. And if you bought season tickets before they built the place, you get like access to where the skyboxes are. Mm-hmm. And there's a whole bar up there in like the rich people, fancy people place. And there's food, like tons of food, and it's all free. Now you're paying like a fortune for it because the season tickets are expensive or whatever. Yeah. But I was like, this is great, dude. I got fucked up and became a basketball fan. When you're standing there and you're like, everyone's at Brooklyn, you know, and it's like Texas or somebody, you're like, fuck Texas!
Texas. That's not even a team.
It was whatever they were. It was the Atlanta Hamsters or something. I don't know what it was, but dude, I became like a basketball fan for it was fun.
You caught up?
Have you actually sort of like in the paper? I'll check and see how they're doing.
Do you?
That's how it happens. Yeah.
I did not like basketball at all ever. To me, it's just a bunch of like running back. It's like tennis with like a lot of big shoes. To me, running back and forth. It was just
I never
like
quite heard described as that.
It's just because you're just running back and forth, but I loved it.
Wow.
It was great. I enjoyed sports.
Look at you. You're finally a man.
I enjoyed sports.
I gotta say.
You know, they would score and you would slap another man next to you. You don't even know the person. You're like slapping hands with them like, yeah.
No, you weren't doing that, were you?
You were
high-fiving strangers?
We were drunk. We're like, yeah, that guy can...
Now you know he was high-fiving people that he had no idea what he was high-fiving even for.
That guy...
Somebody scored a basket.
That guy threw a ball through a hoop. Yay.
Hey, whatever brings you in the door, whether it's
professional, I can get. College, I don't get, because the NCAA is a horrible organization. They make all sorts of money off these athletes, and these athletes get dick all.
Well, yeah, but they get free college.
Yeah, and you don't understand. It's the
free
talent.
College. What we're talking about, $15,000-$20,000 a year. They're bringing like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
How much did you think their education is a year?
$15,000 or $20,000.
$20,000 a year at least.
I would think a lot more than that.
Probably on some, probably 40.
Yeah, dude, there's a lot of outcry against the NCAA about the way that they own the rights to people.
Yeah,
it's bullshit.
But
you support that shit.
I don't know. How do I support that shit? I watch it on TV.
Yeah, you're the oppressor.
Okay.
You're the fucking pet shop owner of the hamsters.
But these guys, come on, these guys have a huge place where they can showcase their skills, only to get another job at the next level that pays millions of dollars. So
right. Now, we heard these arguments in the late 1800s about how they're a lot better off, and the place they used to be was really hot, and there was lions. And
so what? We should pay them? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we should fucking pay them, dude. When the TV rights to basketball, college basketball, is bringing in that amount of money, and you are performing on a stage /court
Yeah.
You should get fucking paid. Instead of this big organization that owns the right to...
You are getting paid. If you're that good, you get to go on and be a professional.
Right.
But
Okay.
you should get your
So you're saying the guy that sits at the end of the bench that really doesn't contribute to the team much at all should get a salary?
Absolutely. They should all get fucking salaries.
How much?
Yeah, that's what because you can't be playing.
Let's take the how much the TV rights are. Dude, the NCAA makes $1 bajillion, and they own the rights to athletes that are making zero off of it. Everybody's making money, but the people performing. It's a bullshit organization.
Well, but
You're so fucking into this college boy bullshit. I'm not listening to it.
they get a free education. That's probably worth $100,000. Let's
Oh,
say.
really?
Exposure is what they really get.
Exposure is what they get, and if they're
That's
really
what they
good,
really
they're
get.
You know
making
what? That's what they said
millions of
when they
dollars.
cut our fucking fee at Sirius XM by 75%. You're getting lots of exposure. I don't want exposure bullshit. I want some $100 bills.
But it's
I'm
serious.
starting- I gotta tell you, I'm starting to come around to the Lazlow side of this story.
Right. I don't want to be...
Fuck that
I don't wanna-
NCAA.
Right. Fame don't pay the fucking bills. I had to put a new roof on, motherfucker.
Yes, but I'm saying exposure at Sirius or XM doesn't lead to anything else because there's nothing.
Obviously,
Where is it
you're
going to
right,
go
the
to?
shit.
You're right. That's the top. That was the top.
Right,
That
but
was the
there's
top.
something above college athletics.
Our career is in the toilet is what you're saying. When we were on XM, we were up here, and now twice a year we get in here on this fucking card table with microphones on it.
Yep.
Has the storm? You don't see that?
What?
You don't see that? You were at the top. Here's XM.
No, I'm talking about
Here's-
our show used to be on top. Like
Yeah.
we used to do it all the time. Like the top of this show
The
was
show quality's still the top.
no the show quality's garbage. We don't even put production together anymore. We don't. We can barely get people to show up.
I showed
Wayne
up.
doesn't return phone calls.
How's that? I return my phone calls.
No, you don't.
Did you call me and say, are you ready for the show on Saturday? When you call me in a month in advance and say April 28th, I got that locked in. And
Yeah.
then you started goofing on him because he had to watch the NCAA. And I was like, well, that's something I would kind of be interested
By the way,
in watching
Yeah,
too.
of course.
Quick note: April 28th is tomorrow.
Well, for some reason, I have the 28th in my head, but I was here. I was on time.
You did.
Wayne
You were.
shows up and he's like, and I'm ready. Like, let's start broadcasting. Like instead of just and he's like, no, I got to roll one. I'm like, oh, for fuck's
And I'm
sake.
ready for a 5-minute break right now to go outside and finish smoking.
It's true. You got a J in the ashtray out there.
Here's what I don't understand: is when you were employed, you bought regular weed,
Yes.
and then you went to unemployed. Regular weed's like what was 125, $150 an ounce,
About 160, yeah. something like that.
$160 an ounce. Unemployed, he's in there rolling this stuff, and I'm looking at it. I can tell it's quality. I'm like, that is some quality shit. He's like, yeah, it's $400 an ounce. I'm like, you're unemployed, dude. Unemployed people. I was talking to a dude the other day about this. Unemployed people have the best drugs.
The best.
They have the best.
How do you have the money to buy $400?
I don't know, but unemployed people always have the fucking hookup.
I'm not buying a complete ounce. I'll buy like a quarter of an ounce or a half ounce.
But even a quarter of an ounce, if it's
It's
$400 an
$100,
ounce, is still
100,
more than.
200. I'm actually smoking better quality weed, so I'm smoking a lot less than I normally would.
He told me
Alright,
that
there
he
you go.
smoked some stuff the other day called Girl
Girl
Scouts,
Scout
or he
cookie.
fingered a Girl Scout or something. I don't remember the whole story.
Fucking shit was tremendous, man. That was actually $600 an ounce weed.
Wayne is now smoking weed that's so strong that it fucks him up.
Yeah.
Like, weed never used to fuck him up.
I gotta say.
The last time he got really fucked up was when he smoked in that hookah, right?
Yeah.
When you were rolling around in the...
Yeah, and this crazy kayak. Thinking it was a vagina I was in.
Man.
He was in a blow-up kayak out in front of his house, rolling around,
Fucking wasted, man.
screaming about how he's inside a big vagina.
That's how I felt.
Wow.
Like,
Maybe
I
it's-
was inside the vagina, and the only thing that came out of me was my head. That was it. The rest of my body was inside the vagina.
Is that a good thing?
I gotta tell that's how I felt. I don't remember if it was a good thing or not.
All right.
I personally don't want to be in a vagina that can contain this body.
No, you do not. Maybe it's the stuff that comes from legal out west. Because they can really
Dude, when you're in
produce
LA
the best
now,
kind.
because I'm in LA all the time because we're recording all that sorts of stuff for GTA 5. And when you're out there now, you don't smell cigarettes at all. Like, if somebody's smoking a cigarette, everybody sort of looks at him like, oh, you foul beast. Everybody's smoking weed. Everywhere you go in LA now, you
On
smell...
the streets.
On the streets, you smell weed all the time.
So you're allowed to now smoke it on the streets.
Dude, just walk down the street smoking weed. It is crazy.
Wow.
It's amazing right now in Colorado that it's been decriminalized for recreational usage. It's
Yeah,
still illegal to smoke in public, though.
Oh, but did you buy some in L.A.? Can you go and buy?
No, I was going to go get a medical marijuana card, but
you
then
can get one of those,
dude. When you walk through Venice now, along the sort of boardwalk stuff, and there's all the crazy homeless people selling their paintings that they make with spray paint, or you know what I'm talking about? They're I made a moonscape with spray paint.
Yeah,
great. They sit there and fucking sniff the fucking vapors. When you're walking through, there's people like I swear to God, about every 3 or 4 storefronts, there's a guy outside with a sign. He's like, "Hey, get your medical marijuana card." You just go in and go, or "Oh, my arm hurts." I mean, they're giving them out to anybody.
So there's just doctors. That's their whole job.
Their whole job is to pay $150.
Yeah, you just pay like this consultation fee, and they give you a prescription. Yeah.
They told me, and
same thing in Colorado.
Yeah, one guy told me that you just go in and say, "I'm having anxiety. I need marijuana for anxiety."
I heard that.
And I said, well, what's your anxiety? He goes, "My anxiety is I'm running out of weed." I was like, oh Jesus.
When I was in Colorado, the guy said that I get altitude poisoning.
Poisoning?
You can get poisoned by the altitude?
How are you poisoned by the altitude?
When I actually go up in the altitude real fast, I'm pretty sick for like the next 2 days.
What are you on? Like a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory fucking...
I get pretty sick for fucking like 2 days.
But I don't understand. What if you go into the doctor and you say you have altitude poisoning or you get anxiety and he actually prescribes something else like a pill for anxiety or whatever, or exercise or something, and then you walk out? Then how does he know you want weed?
The fucking doctor, you're not going there for exercise, all right?
Well, I'm saying, what if the doctor doesn't prescribe weed for you?
Well, then you're not going to pay him, and you're going to go to the next doctor.
You've already paid your $150.
Here's what I don't understand, and I'm all a big fan of medical marijuana and the whole thing. But what I don't understand is this conversation of, you say to a person, I've got, issues with the altitude, or I've got this pain in my arm or whatever. And to have a doctor say, you know what you need to do?
Smoke weed.
Get massively wrecked where you can't tie your shoes.
Yeah.
And then you stare at something on the wall and have a mild anxiety attack about where the future of your life is going. And then finally get your shit together and walk downstairs and end up eating everything in your fucking kitchen.
The last part is the only part that I gotta say I've experienced.
You never have like the marijuana thing where you just like
never fucking once have I ever had
you ever...
any out of body experience. I can't time.
No, I'm not talking about out of body experience. I'm talking about like you will smoke some and then all of a sudden you get so high you're like, what am I doing with my life?
No, never had that.
Well, this is why you're fucking your life up, because I got to tell you, when you have those experiences, you're like, you wake up the next day and you're like, I got to fucking clean the garage and I gotta work harder at work.
Yeah, he doesn't have that.
No, he doesn't have that.
No.
So you never have the paranoid.
No.
But do you ever have that moment where you think you want to do something completely different with your life?
No.
No.
Well, I enjoy smoking weed.
I enjoy smoking weed and not working.
Right.
Well, you would if you didn't work.
No, I wouldn't. Even if I had $1 million, I'd still work.
See? Then you don't think I work.
I think
You're mistaken to think that I'm unemployed because I'm not working for a company or somebody, but I do employ myself. I have to go out and find work, Reed.
Where?
Okay.
I've worked all over fucking Long Beach since this storm, dude.
You're talking day jobs, like...
Yeah.
Pretty much, basically,
stuff.
yes.
Okay.
Someone calls me and says, you want to give me a price to do this? Or I say to them, I'm willing to work for you this much a day.
Do you hang out in front of the Home Depot at all?
No, he doesn't. But I asked him.
I
asked him if he wanted to do some work over here. I'm still waiting to hear.
What's the holdup?
Did you hear that?
I did hear that. What's the holdup, though?
I don't really want to paint the front of his house. It's not what I do.
See, here's the thing: he doesn't have work, and then I'm like, here's some work because I'm going to give it to somebody else.
Yep.
And he's like, yeah, I'm not really into that. I'm not really into this.
It's not that I'm really not into it. It's not what I do. I'm not a house painter.
That's fair.
But okay,
It's
I'm not a house painter either, but if Rockstar fired me tomorrow, I would become a house painter or whatever the fuck I've got to do to make money.
Well, I do what I got to do to make money, but I'd rather choose what I can make more money for.
But you can't sit...
And that's my skill.
But you know that I would pay you a lot of money to paint the front. I'd pay you more than I'd pay some other guy.
I understand that, but that's not what I do. So to get kind of like motivated to even do it, it's not very high on my priorities.
So you're at home with $400 weed, unmotivated to come over to my house and work.
Whether it was $400 or $800, don't worry about that. I got that covered right now.
Evidently, the drugs are sorted.
800.
Yes.
Fuck. It's crazy, man. Come on.
So I understand that it's not your normal thing, But I just thought, if you want,
and I appreciate the fact that you offer it to me. No doubt about it. But I do have other things kind of like in the workings for me that if I want to call someone up and say, I'm willing to work for you, I can do that.
Wait, hold on a second. You're saying that if you wanted to call somebody and be
work
employed
for them right now, Laz, I gotta say, I probably worked with about 17 different people in Long Beach since the storm, just on word of mouth.
All right, but every time I call you, you're at home.
When do you call me and I'm home? On a Saturday?
I called you Friday. You were home.
Yes, I was home Friday.
Okay.
Dude, you told me the other day that not much was going on.
Well, I gotta say, I take care of a friend's house in the neighborhood, and that has been, a lot of my time and money in the past month. I have to say that was a little out of control, but
here's the other thing.
It sucks that you kind of work for a guy that has millions of dollars, and you're putting yourself in debt to maintain his second or third residence.
Why are you putting yourself in debt?
Well, I property manage his property.
Okay.
So kind of like in the spring is when things kind of all need to be maintained and taken care of. And I've been laying out of my pocket to pay the people to do the work. You understand what I'm saying? Well, I normally don't do that.
Right.
So I ran myself really, really fucking crazy as far as my savings, and my personal credit card was maxed out. And pretty much my savings was diminished.
But see, I came over to his house the other day, and he goes, he's like, hey, I'll walk you out to your car. Now,
Yes.
Wayne never walks me out to my car. He can give a fuck if I get there. It's during the day. It's not like I'm going to get raped on the way to my fucking car.
You might have back in Sandy.
Yeah. So we go outside. He's like, hey, can you kick me $100? I need to sort out my credit card. I'm like, I need to make a payment on my credit card. I'm like, all right. He goes, just go to the ATM and come back by.
No, I didn't say that. Not at all.
Yeah,
I was very appreciative. And
so
it's nice to have a friend like that you could ask that for.
Right. So I went to the bank. I come back by. We do this sort of discreet handoff out the window, like when you do a drug
'cause
deal.
I really didn't want my wife to know about this.
Right. So,
But as of like Monday morning, I'm sure she's going to know about it now.
so she's not going to listen to this shit.
Oh, yes, she is.
Okay. So I'm like, okay, well, that's good. He's got to. Now, first off, his credit cards are maxed.
Maxed.
So I'm like, I'm just sort of giving him a Band-Aid, but whatever.
Yes, it was a Band-Aid.
It was a
actually to
Band-Aid.
keep the card from going over the credit limit to then not be charged for going over
All
the
right.
credit limit.
Sure.
So then the next day, I'd been at a shoot.
Oh, that's right.
And there was a ton of food left over, and I grabbed all this food that was going to go in the trash, and I was like, I'll bring it to Wayne because Wayne loves to eat. And so I'd say, hey, I've got a bunch of food from the shoot. I'll bring it by. And he texts me back, can you stop and get some rolling papers? And I'm like, that motherfucker spent that $100 on weed.
No, I thought you were coming from your house and maybe you had him at home. But I will tell you, I never got to tell you this. He gave me this fucking bag of this roast beef and a gravy. There was probably 8 pounds of I ate this for a fucking week and a half. Glass. That was fucking delicious. I never ate so many roast beef sandwiches in all my fucking life.
Dude, you can see why people on like film shoots and stuff like that, when they have craft services or whatever, the caterers. Because here's the thing. Movie shoots and different motion capture shoots and things like that, you never set out to spend like a ton of money on food.
Yep.
But the actor's union contract requires that you spend a ton of money on food. So that whole thing that these guys are eating a bunch of fancy food because we try to pamper them or whatever, it's a union requirement. Mm-hmm. So you literally have to spend a ton of money to have a buffet available for Mr. Fruity fucking Bastard.
It was delicious.
And
spend more.
And
fucking hire those bastards more, will you?
And most of it goes in the trash.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. Most of it goes in the trash. So I always try to grab it and give it to people, the needy. Like,
that's
like
good because you're not a wasteful person.
And I'm not a wasteful person.
Mm-hmm.
So, dude, I was filling Ziploc bags full of roast beef and all this stuff. I brought him so much
I'm telling
food.
you, dude, it was unbelievable about the roast beef he put in this fucking bag. It was like endless for like a week. Literally, like, my wife's been doing a lot of yoga classes, like 3 nights, 4 nights a week. So by the time she gets done, it's 10, 11 o'clock. So we didn't make dinners that week because we ate the rock star food. Baked ziti, he gave us fucking vegetables, fucking salad.
Mm-hmm.
Wayne has literally been on the rock star teat for about 10 years. 10 years.
Yeah. I would say so.
Yeah.
Sure.
He's
So that your entire wardrobe is video game related.
yeah.
I have a lot of stuff. Yeah, sure.
There's a lot of.
But should you be eating 8 pounds of roast beef when you have health problems? Have you got any update on the health situation for us?
It's not good.
That's your update. It's not good?
Here's the thing, dude. He's about to turn 50.
I have to say,
And-
Sandy knocked me on my ass.
Oh,
Okay,
dude, I
but-
was in bad health. I
Yeah.
just turned. I don't know if.
Reed, do you realize
Reed-
that every day from 5 o'clock till 10 o'clock at night I was drinking a bottle of rum?
During Sandy.
During Sandy,
No, I didn't.
That's why those meals were so damn good. I realized later. I was fucking Captain. And
a
I was,
whole bottle like
well,
this.
I wasn't, like I said, I was drinking this other shit called Spice Rum. It's Captain Morgan's.
Oh, yeah, right.
And, yeah, exactly.
Shit you drink in college, you know?
I will have to say I had a really tough time because things were so depressing here.
Oh, God.
It was such a weird situation.
Who you texting, Reed? Little wifey got you on a little
No.
string there?
No.
No, he's just checking basketball scores or something
It's
bullshit.
over. It's over.
Oh, the Nets are winning. I'm just joking. No, I'm looking for this text I sent you or you sent me. I'm pretty sure it's deleted.
But the thing is, when your town is in apocalypse and you have no idea when your life is coming back together, you do tend to you see why Russians are big fucking alcoholics because it's like things are so horrible.
There's nothing to fucking do.
Yeah, you're just like, you know what? The
And
world's ending.
you know
I'm
what?
getting
I'm
fucked
tell
up.
you what also was a major fuck up in that whole thing. Not a fuck up, but it just happened to occur. Daylight savings time went into effect like fucking 3 days later. So it went from getting dark at like 6:30 to 5:30. You don't realize that fucking 1 hour of daylight when you came home from work was pretty important, that you didn't have to burn candles and fucking, that kind of shit.
Right, we're getting into October.
I also
it was the end of
recommend-
October and then into November. Dude, it was cold as fuck. I
got cold.
had the wood-burning stove going, and you had to be in the same room as it because the rest of the house was
And the
literally
one thing
frozen.
I recommend over fucking flashlights and candles, glow sticks.
Who do you have at a rave party?
Dude, I gotta tell you, fucking glow sticks are good for like 11 hours, first of all. Because once you snap it, you can't fucking turn
and
it
when
off.
you're fucked up, you can swirl it around.
So I'm gonna tell you, there was one night about 2 o'clock in the morning, I got up and I fucking went back to lay back in bed. And you know like how you look at something and all of a sudden you kind of know it's on? So it kind of like stopped me from going back to sleep. I literally got the fucking thing and went out on my deck and threw it into the fucking street just to get it out of the house. Because it was fucking like it glue. It was like the sunlight was fucking in the apartment.
Dude, he was whacked.
I was
You were
fucked up.
whacked. You drank a bottle a night.
Just pretty much a bottle night. Me and my, I say my little local neighbor Miguel, who sponsored a lot of the weed. I have to say also.
It's like The Shining.
Yes.
You ever see The Shining?
And now I understand why he didn't come up to fucking Massachusetts with me.
And then I gotta say I feel bad for the kid because he's on parole. He got busted. He got busted last year for like a DUI. All right? So he's on parole.
Okay.
But he's on parole for like now 9 months, and they never drug tested him or alcohol tested him. So he's smoking. Now, of course, the storm comes in, and he keeps telling me he's got to see his parole officer. I'm like, dude, you should lay low, or get yourself something that you clean your system fucking out. He's like, no, I'm good. She don't test me, blah, blah, blah. Walks in, first fucking thing, piss in the fucking glass, please. Well, nowadays they have these like fucking, they're like little tabs
Swabs.
that they actually drop in the fucking piss.
Oh, wow.
And on the side of the little thing they drop in the piss, there's like colors. It's like blue, it's like orange, it's green, it's like red. Each color that it turns up to, that the little sleeve turns up to and says that this level is here, those are the drugs that you got in your system. And not only that, they test for the drug that you use to clean your system out.
What?
Yes.
So what was in his piss?
Well, he got caught for marijuana and a drug called Golden Seal. Golden Seal is
Golden Seal is the thing that you take the marijuana
it's
out.
like a crazy root that you mix with water and you drink like 1 gallon a day before you're going to be tested.
Does that work?
It usually does work, yes, but they're testing for it. So it must work because now they want to know if your urine has that.
Wow.
That's not illegal, is it?
That's what when I got drug tested, I did all sorts of shit because I got drug tested twice.
For what?
That is a story that we'll get to in just a second, right after this break.
Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste.
I'm a king of rock, there is none
till I retire. Now we rock the party and come correct. All crystal on time and rhyme connect. That's the right to vote and to elect. Another rapper can't stand it, but give us respect. I wanna rock.
Back in 1955, man didn't know about a rock and roll show. No, that does. White man had the smokes, black man had the blues. No one knew they was going to do what Tchaikovsky had to do. Oh, let me rock. I just don't know what I want. I love rock and roll. Put another time in the jukebox, baby. And it came to pass, the rock and roll was born. Love across the land, every rock and band going up a storm. And the guitar man got famous, the business man got rich, and everybody was a superstar with a spirit. Let me rock. I just don't know what I want. I love rock and roll. Put another time in the jukebox, baby.
Riders on the storm. Riders on the storm. Into this house we're born. Into this world we're thrown. Like a dog without a bone, an actor out on loan. Riders on the storm.
And the music was good and the music was loud.
Wayne's not even here.
Who cares? He's too wet. He's really whacked.
Fly by the seat of your pants.
It really is.
Show.
I love that we've taken a fake commercial break. You know?
Maybe you could sell commercials.
Yeah, but you do like my Oklahoma belt buckle.
Yeah, but why have you become so redneck? It's giant
I'm
and gold.
embracing my past.
Are you?
Yes, I used to hate it, and
I know.
I'm becoming very country and western.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Episode 49 is finally happening.
Yes.
Are you embracing God
Do you think
as well?
we'll get to episode 50 before 2015?
What are we going to do for the episode 50 blowout?
I don't know.
Oh, Wayne's
we should
back.
do something exciting. Wayne's got a... You're about to knock those speakers over, by the way. Wow. So...
Oh, yeah, I got
this weed that Wayne is smoking is the strongest weed I've ever smelled.
How do you know from the smell?
You can tell.
Yeah, you can usually tell from the smell.
Woof.
Without a doubt, yes.
Yes.
So what does it make you feel like?
it's like weird. I don't really buy into this, but I've had it happen to me recently. The weed that
I don't
they
buy
grow,
into this, but it's happened. Okay.
Yeah. All
the
right,
weed
great.
that they grow today, because it's for medical marijuana usage, is kind of
Strong.
yeah, but it brings different. It's like I normally think of smoking weed as like a downer, because I kind of like to watch it. Like enjoy the end of my day, relax.
By the way,
kind of chill.
The end of the day is just like the beginning.
Yeah,
11 a.m.
It starts at about 6:15. But anyway,
Wait, you get high at 6:15 in the morning?
yeah, as soon as I wake up, pretty much I'm baking.
Do you?
Yeah,
Why?
because I like to be baked.
But what if you have something to do?
It don't make a difference. I get baked
Every day.
every fucking day, dude. For the last, I want to say, 28 years of my life.
Wow.
Easily since I'm 20, like 20.
What if you, let's say, what if you cut it out for 2 weeks? What would happen?
I'm not normal, I want to say. It's not like normal to me. That would be like, I'm pretty sure you have a routine. You wake up in the morning.
You go to work.
Shit.
Yeah, I go make money.
You go to work. You go to work.
I shower.
You don't think I have to do these
I
things?
mix
Come on.
with people, humanity.
I'm out on. I gotta say, I'm going to like a bunch of interviews a week right now. I'm out. I'm trying to find steady work.
No, I hear you. Okay.
There's no doubt about it. I actually thought.
You know why he's
can't lie.
motivated, though? You know why he's motivated?
So we can buy weed.
No, unemployment, isn't it?
It's running out.
Well, yeah, fucking.
Oh, blame Obama.
No,
Yeah, here we go.
Obama was the best thing that ever happened in this fucking country.
Dude, he has turned me. I'm a screaming fucking idiotic liberal. He has turned me into a Republican. Because I go over and I see it, it's like, yeah, Obama's the greatest. I'm sitting here on unemployment.
Fucking, I can't wait to get my Obama phone. And not have to pay for a fucking phone read? Come on, man.
I've seen those. They have those cars outside of
What the fuck is
in
an
poor
Obama
neighborhoods.
phone?
It's where the government, after a while, if you like fall into this like level of unemployment, and then, actually after unemployment runs out, before you qualify for other services through social services, which is like food stamps and assistance with your rent, you have to deplete your own personal savings, and that means the 401ks. You can't have nothing. You know what I'm saying? You literally.
You have a 401k?
Yeah, I still have a 401k. Sure.
How do you have a 401k?
How do you have a 401k? And why haven't you depleted it and bought weed?
Because my 401k is through that I get to contribute to just myself. It's not to any business that I work for.
I see.
So, you understand?
Yeah.
It's.
I told Wayne that I was at this party recently. There was like six of us, and everybody at the party was on coke. Everybody's doing. They're offering me coke. I'm like, nah. And I turned coke down, which I realized I was officially square and boring because I was like turning coke down. Right?
I would have to turn it down.
And when you are the only person in the room
Sucks.
that is not on coke, it is the most boring shit ever, dude.
It is
because
the
people
worst.
on cocaine are everything is fascinating to them, and they're having these intense conversations. It's like near Rockstar outside when you get off the subway, and I've told you about this before. There's a bunch of there's like the methadone clinic, dude. The conversations that people have once they take their hit of methadone is hysterical. They sit there smoking cigarettes, just standing and leaning into each other, nearly falling over on the sidewalk. I mean, I don't understand. What is methadone? It's like, well, I'm not on heroin anymore, but I go to this place in the morning and take this stuff, and I stand in the fucking street and talk all slurry like an asshole for a fucking 2 hours.
I had methadone clinics in the neighborhood I grew up in. It was fucking amazing.
Methadone is what? I don't understand.
you know,
Synthetic heroin.
do you know what's funny is that these people could not maintain jobs.
No.
They all look the same. They look like they're in the same
Not because
family.
they were degenerates, because they would get so fucked up. Time is irrelevant, and they wouldn't know to even get up every morning at the same time. But you put those motherfuckers on methadone, they're fucking at the methadone place 10 minutes before it opens. They're fucking, I'm here early. You know what I'm saying? Why? You know what I'm saying? It was fucking amazing.
Wow.
And I want to talk about the place that I was in my neighbor. Like, you'd see like 40, maybe 60 people, I want to say, line up and it was the same people.
And their faces all look the same. Have you noticed that?
Yeah,
they all look
a
like
lot
they're
of pot
members.
marks. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of like fucking wear and tear.
Yeah, they all look like they're members of the same family.
Like a lot of they do, and a lot of nights it look like sleepless. Like they just look
and the
miserable.
dude and the chicks are ugly.
Yeah, there ain't too much hygiene.
The other thing I've noticed too is cigarette smoking. Chicks that are in their late 30s or 40s. Like if you see a chick that's like in her early 20s and she's smoking cigarettes, it's pretty hot, you know. She's like, oh wow, she's kind of dangerous. She might be up for fucking in the alley. Like it's sort of, you know, it's sexy.
I gotta say, not once have I seen a chick smoke a cigarette and think that she's up for fucking in the alley.
Well, no,
or giving you a handy on the Long Island Railroad.
I just look at her and say she's up for fucking in the alley.
I'm just saying that you think when you see a chick smoking, you're like, oh, you know what? She's not like a straight edge. She's ready to party.
Mm-hmm.
Chicks in their like late 30s and into the 40s that are still smoking look like haggard fucking bitches. They look terrible.
Yeah.
Like cigarettes age them like a motherfucker. They just get all droopy. They get the underarm fucking
your mama
fat, that shit.
Yeah, the teeth get all messed up.
The teeth get all messed up.
You got to smoke for 5 years, like from when you're 20 to 25, and then you just got to give that up, man.
Did you ever smoke cigarettes?
No.
Really?
You know, there was one time when I was about 15 years old, I had a friend who smokes, and you remember cigarette machines in the old days in the South?
Dude, I was in Tennessee recently.
When you say cigarette machines, like you bought a pack like at the bar.
No, not out of the bar. It's like a vending machine that they used to have in the South. You just put in quarters or whatever it was.
Where were they located, though?
Hold on a second. You didn't have fucking cigarette machines here?
We had cigarette machine in the subway stations.
Did you?
In the fucking subway stations, man. They were on those columns. You know, like the columns, and they look like a steel beam.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like concave. The machine would be inside that concave.
And you could go up and put quarters in.
They had fucking chiclets, little fucking Hershey bars, and cigarettes.
In the same machine.
Not in the same machine, but on the platforms.
Wow, yeah, they banned those, I think, everywhere.
Yeah.
They used to have those.
I'm sure they're banned.
But
growing up.
They're not banned everywhere because I was in Tennessee.
They still have them there?
Dude, I bought a pack of cigarettes out of a cigarette machine on principle. Just
How much was it? Like $5?
Dude, here's the thing about the South. Like I went to the South and I was talking to people there, very rednecky folks I was hanging out with. And I said, you know how much cigarettes are in New York? They're like, well, I don't know, tell me. I said, cigarettes are $15 a pack. They're like, God damn, I'll be burning that fucking place down. Cigarettes be $15 a fucking pack.
Yeah.
Dude, cigarettes are $5 a pack.
In Virginia, where I'm from, you can go in some of the strip malls, they have a cigarette outlet. A store that sells nothing but cartons of cigarettes.
Whoa.
And people go for cheap.
Whoa.
Yeah, dude, when we were in, I grew up in Richmond where Philip Morris was headquartered. And when we were in third grade or second grade. Tobacco Central, man. I'm saying.
How many slaves did you have?
Hamsters. How many hamsters?
Now. We didn't have any land to till. No, but when we were in first grade or whatever, the school took a field trip to the Philip Morris plant to see how cigarettes were made. And if you were 16 years old, at the end of the tour, they gave you a free pack of cigarettes.
That's awesome. Did you get one?
No, I was like in first grade, so it was only. But
I wasn't listening to part of the story.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
That's something that they knew was so harmful, even back then. Don't think that shit's just now. That they were taking you in fucking first grade. Hey, get one of these in your mouth and you get chicks.
But, it was like the primary industry in the town, so, they got to show you what it's all about.
Well, that was the weird thing about being at this party where everybody was doing coke. It was just like, it's so weird seeing people. It's like, is this what the 1980s was like? Everybody's like snorting, like, yeah, man, we're having interesting conversations. I'm like, and the thing is as soon as people start doing it, they start worrying about running out of it. Like when you're at a party and there's weed, people smoke a little, like, yeah, cool. It's like when you run out of weed, people don't go like, oh fuck, we're out of weed. They're like, oh, we'll drink a little bit more or whatever. But the coke, they're like, oh my god, we're gonna run out. We're gonna have it becomes a deal. And I was telling Wayne about this party that I went to, and the stories he was telling me about coke fiends, like
shit. Like what you're just saying right now, if I was going to go to some place when I did coke and know that like you were going to take out an 8-ball, which is like $300 worth of cocaine to enjoy with your friends. And, you were going to chop it up and invite this one over for a fucking line and a hit and smoke a little and get numb. There was no way in my mind was I ever breaking that out, not knowing that what I took out and put on the table, I had in my pocket so that when I left, I could continue getting high by myself. There was no way in fucking hell did I ever think that I was getting that high and not going to walk away and do by myself what I just did with 5 or 6
So you always hoard coke?
Fucking without a doubt, man.
Yeah, it's a hoarder drug.
Why is it so fun to do by yourself, though?
It's not about fun about doing it by yourself. It's that you don't want to fucking come down.
Oh.
You just want to fucking keep it going. You want to keep going. You want to keep going.
I hear you.
Yeah,
Though.
it's
I
like
gotta-
the 80s, man. You
Reed,
don't want it to
Reed,
stop.
do you understand anything about getting high?
No, I seriously do not.
Oh, so I'm going to explain to you the number one thing is that any drug that you do, you never ever get as high as the first time that you did the drug.
Right. It's
From
like when you
that
lost your
moment
virginity.
on,
Reed.
That's
you
what
are
I-
doing nothing but chasing that high.
That hasn't happened yet.
I want to get that
heard
fucking.
that.
I want to get that fucking high. I want, and then,
I've heard
someone
that.
like me, 20 years later, I remember the first time I got high. The experience, no fucking way in hell can I say that made me wake up the next day and be like, I'm going to continue using that. I think
Right.
the next day or whatever days later, I just said, yeah, I'll smoke. I smoked that before. It wasn't that fucking bad. And then,
But that's why it's so destructive, because you can never reclaim.
Destructive.
Well, because you're constantly chasing and chasing and chasing something that's never going to happen.
Oh, listen to this boring
I'm
guy.
not saying no. I'm not saying
Next show, we're doing Coke. Would you do a line of Coke?
no. Although
I would.
I have a friend. One of my friends is getting married this summer.
But I have to say,
He's
after
a Coke dealer.
No, but do you know where his bachelor party is going to be?
Colombia.
Yes.
I've heard of this, man. It's
Colombia.
pretty popular right
It's
now.
super popular now.
Yeah.
What, you go and do like a Coke fucking
Well,
vacation?
yeah, man. Once you walk in the hotel, man, they bring in like the fucking town fucking drug lord, and he's willing to fucking give you like ounces for American dollars,
Dude,
super cheap.
I know a guy that told me he went down to Colombia, just on vacation or whatever. He says you can buy a fucking mound of cocaine for fucking $40.
I
That would
think
cost here thousands.
I think that's why they're going. You know where the Secret Service got in trouble? Instead of protecting the president, they were
exactly.
hanging out with whores
Fucking
and cocaine.
Whores.
Have you
Yeah.
ever seen how cocaine is made? I saw this great video on YouTube. And
Saw
it's this guy in the fucking jungle
Yeah.
mashing up shit with gasoline.
Do you ever see those people that actually? He say it looks like he was gonna mash it up with like a fucking twig or something, but there are people that handle that shit so much that through the pores of their skin they get fucking addicted and fucking wasted. That it gets into their bloodstream through like
Really?
fucking handling it so much.
I'm
Yes.
like that with fried chicken.
Are you?
Yes.
Right, but do you really want to snort something out your nose that's been made in a jungle with
I-
gasoline?
You didn't let me finish when he said, "Would
Seriously?
you snort a line of cocaine?" Yes, I would snort the first line, but after that, we're cooking.
What?
You're going to put it in a
I'd have to-
spoon?
no, I'd have to smoke it. Yes, and you can use a
Dude,
spoon.
he told me stories the other day when I told him, because I hadn't been to a party like where people were doing coke in a long time, and it freaked me out because they're like, they kept offering it to me. I'm like, no, I'm cool or whatever.
Back in the day, I don't mean to interrupt you, but someone like him that was with
Someone
me,
like him
someone like you that was refusing to get high.
would get shot in the face.
No, you wouldn't get shot in the face.
Become a narc.
But after a while, to fuck with the person, and there'd be so much cocaine in the room that this would be incidental. You literally would just put a bunch. A lot of people put cocaine like on this part of their hand behind their thumb and go right to their nose and whack it. We used to just put a line like that and pretend like you were, and go up to the person and blow it in their face.
Did that get him high?
It would you get cocaine on your lips? Yes, you are going to then start to feel the numbness.
Wait, so
that
you were so angry at a person?
No, you weren't angry. You wanted to include them in party. The party was so outrageous.
that's
You
not
have to be included.
Hold
man.
on a second. That's like giving a chick a fucking date rape drug, and it's
Yeah.
like, I just wanted to include you in the joy of my
Last,
penis.
there is no doubt about that. Before date rape drug was available, that me and my friends used cocaine in that same essence. That you thought you were going to get a chick so high that you were going to have sex with her. That like it was going to be like you didn't even have to ask. She just read your mind and started to perform.
Wait, you didn't have to ask because she was so coked up.
Yes.
This is what my
And-
friend who does a lot of coke tells
And
me
if
as well.
she wanted to continue to get high, she would have did anything anyway. So it didn't make a difference.
What?
Yes.
So what did you make girls do?
Suck your dick. See, this is one of the things. Reed, you've never done cocaine ever once in your life.
No!
Are you serious?
I
Have you-
never have, no.
Have you ever heard of what they call coke cock?
No.
Okay, Laz, have you ever experienced that
Yeah.
when you do? There's something amazing happens to the male anatomy that when you start to snort
We're
cocaine,
at the science portion of the show, ladies and gentlemen.
when you start to snort or smoke cocaine, your penis for some reason decides to become a turtle that wants to be inside its shell.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so right. So to have sex sometimes at these moments is almost impossible, if not.
Yeah, coke dick is bad.
Yes. Coke dick is worse than liquor dick. Yes.
Lick her dick. That would
Yes.
be a trick.
So wait, so it makes you super horny and it makes girls do whatever you want and yet you can't perform.
I'm not saying it makes girls do whatever you want. What I'm trying to say is that once they get high and you kind of make the scenario about if you want to continue getting high, you'll have sex with me.
Oh, gotcha.
Or perform a sexual act. Yes, I have to say, me and my friends were very much into watching one woman perform on another girl.
Wait, so you would get chicks fucked up?
Yes, and then say to them, hey, it would be great if you guys started eating each other out.
And they would do it.
And eventually, yes, it would happen a lot of times. These weren't the classiest chicks in the world.
These were girls you found under a bridge in
You
Queens.
were fucking in a hotel room that you got the door locked and barricaded, and pretty much every 5 minutes, someone
How do
is
you barricade a hotel room door?
You fucking take a chair and put it in front of it.
What are you worried about?
People,
God.
dude, you don't think that when you're smoking cocaine, just like weed, it goes down the hall? You don't think that the people that are in the hotel room say, oh my God, 6 guys and 2 girls just checked into fucking 106. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on.
Just for one day, I want to live like you did when you were a teenager. Just for one day. I don't know if I would survive, dude. Honestly, I might die.
This doesn't all happen in one day. It's just, you know.
No, but I'm saying I just want to have one of those experiences in my life.
What do you?
I don't have them.
So you would have chicks eat each other out.
Well, you would try to conjure, talk them into, yes, performing live sex acts for you. And then it's amazing enough that, you get 2 chicks eating their pussy out and you don't think you can get a hard on, and you start taking it out and stroking it, you're going to get hard.
All right, so wait, let me set the scene here. There's 6 guys.
6, 7, sometimes maybe 10.
And 2 girls in a shitty hotel room.
Yes.
And these girls are eating each other out, and you guys are standing around jerking off.
Yes, eventually someone would fucking have the balls to start jerking off, yes.
And does anyone say anything when the first guy starts jerking off?
No. Yeah,
it's just
I can tell you, I said something. Don't fucking point that thing at me.
What?
Yeah.
This is not like my childhood at all.
Never once.
What do you mean never once?
Never once. Have you ever...
I can't believe that you guys have experienced
Lazlow.
college and there's never been anything like outrageous that occurred.
No.
What do you mean never once? Has he never once freebase cocaine, asked chicks to eat each other out, and then you and 6 guys jacked off and looked at each
I
other?
didn't say
Okay,
that.
all right, you're right. That's happened twice. My bad. You're right. Yeah, sorry, my bad.
I'm not saying that 6 guys all of a sudden just start whacking off, but eventually one guy gets excited enough that he's going to be like, fuck it.
Here's the thing. The first guy, that's going to be the most stress, is the first guy is like, all right, I'm going to be this is going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the first guy to whip my dick out.
Yep.
Well, I will say at some point that these girls that were in the room, we probably each at some point individually had sex with these girls.
These were not the classy girls.
These were not classic
they weren't.
girls.
They were neighborhood hoes. You know what I'm saying?
And they like to freebase, these neighborhood hoes.
Yes, yeah.
They love to smoke coke.
Yes, I have to say.
How do you smoke coke?
Just, you put it in like a fucking glass pipe and you fucking take a flame and you
You're
fucking...
killing Reed. He's falling
See,
apart.
what I find so amazing about this is the 49th show we've done.
And you're still got your
over
jaws
8
dropped.
years.
No, and we're still, we spend about an hour and a half of every show just hearing crazy stories, usually about freebasing or horrors from you. And yet, every show, there's something new that comes out that, like, completely drop kicks us that we've never heard before. You're freebasing in a hotel room. This is not normal.
I guarantee you that if we were doing a live show right now, the phone bank would be lit up.
No!
Yes, I believe that, yes, there are a lot of people that have done what I've done.
I think our next show, number 50, should be big.
Yes.
And I've sent out a couple of feelers to Opie and the guys over at XM. I think we should do a live show at the old haunt over at XM Sirius.
You think, think we could do it in the next month? Because then I could do a 50-50.
What does that mean?
Next month
He's
I'm
turning 50.
What?
Yes.
What are you going to do for your 50th birthday?
I'm going to freebase at the Opie and Anthony show.
That'd be great if we got. I can get coke.
I've told this to you on the side before. I said that's one drug I don't think I could.
I don't think I could ever.
Again.
Yeah.
I can't even.
I was offered it by a guy, and I was just like,
the last time
I have no interest.
did cocaine, I was at a funeral for a friend. Okay. Went into the restroom, and there was like 5 or 6 of the guys from my neighborhood, and yeah, it started with little bumps on the fucking palm of your hand. And next thing we'll go into this bar.
The
into
what?
That bar. Little bumps off the side of your hand.
Oh, okay.
And then it was, I'm going here. Why don't you come there and hang out? Drink for Steve. Yeah, drink for Steve. Steve's dead.
Did Steve die from an overdose by any chance?
No.
Are you
not
sure?
at all. Yes.
Sure.
I'm positive. I know what he died from. He was a very young kid.
VD?
Nope. Head on into a tractor trailer on the LIE in a stolen car.
Well,
Go in the opposite direction. Go in the opposite direction.
Hold on. Head on.
Family was so poor that literally the only person I know in my life that was buried in a pine box.
Wait, so
Yeah,
head on.
You felt bad for him.
The wrong
Yes, head
wrong
on.
side.
Wrong side of LIE.
And people have to understand the Long Island Expressway is like it's got 4 lanes on each side.
Oh, it might at some points have 8 or 10 lanes
Yeah,
with that
and
fucking HIV lane. HIV.
There's no,
I'm sorry.
there's no lane for people with AIDS.
I caught myself. Yes, there is now.
So you're saying that if you recycle, if you've got a nice car, there's 2 people, there's 2 gay men in the car, you can ride in the HIV lane.
That's what it is, yes.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm glad we've got that sorted. So how many times have you ridden in the HIV lane, and were you ever worried about getting HIV?
No, not once.
You were never worried about getting HIV?
Not once. I've had sex with the same person.
No, I mean, but during the... Dude, you were fucking...
Dude, we're talking 25 years ago. HIV really wasn't that, like...
HIV was a problem in the 80s?
I'm not saying that it was a problem. It wasn't as, like, discussed and known, I believe. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
No, I got to say, I didn't worry about
So did you mostly have unprotected sex?
all unprotected sex.
All? Never wore a condom?
Gotta say, crazy enough scenario, wore condoms in relationships that I was involved with chicks for long periods to not get pregnant.
Okay, but the skanky coke whores that you were fucking, no condom.
No condom.
And other guys who just fucked her.
Yeah, sometimes, sure.
You think you got any kids out there that you don't know about?
No.
You sure?
Are you sure, dude? Come on.
No.
Did you ever come inside?
No. No, not that I can remember. And
Not that you can remember, you're freebasing. How do you remember any of it?
you remember.
Oh my God. Hanging out with you realizes what a sheltered life I've led.
And I have to tell you, the people that I hung out with, I want to feel like I want to say, when they're talking around and we're discussing old times, I feel like I was the one that was fucking kind of normal.
Right.
When they can tell you that, I mean, much more horrific fucking shit, like, you know.
Well, let's have them on the show.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're dead in a pine
Actually-
box somewhere
actually-
in Queens.
Can you, is my bag back there?
Your bag?
Yeah, I wanted to.
Oh, you got something for the show?
I do have a little something for
This
the
is
show.
very exciting.
Go outside and see if you can find my.
What's it look like?
It's just a
It's
black
the,
knapsack.
it's the
I
bag
put it-
that's covered in pizza sauce.
It's a bag that smells like $400 amounts marijuana.
How come?
It might be.
No, that's my bag. Dude, I'm sorry. He picks up my bag that's got a copy of the New Yorker in the front.
Yeah, my bag ain't having a copy.
And brings it in. He's like, "Is this your bag?" Yes. Wayne's reading the New Yorker.
Oh, I got it. Well, this is actually, I got to tell you, quite funny. For me, anyway.
It's this.
That's me, baby.
All right.
So you know the only time I ever really read the newspaper is when I take a shit. I love to use it during the bathroom. And one of my favorite things to read in the local paper is, the daily crime blotter.
Right.
And it turns out, do you remember me telling you the story way back about when I robbed the freights?
For the cereal.
For the cereal. Well,
So
here,
you
read 'em.
robbed because you robbed trade just for people that haven't
Start here at Queens.
people that haven't heard this story before. You used to rob.
Yes, in my neighborhood there was freight trains that used to come through, and overnight they would be left just kind of like idling. And
Right.
you would go down and break the seal, and hopefully, you got something good of it. Sometimes we got beer, sometimes we got wine.
Sometimes
the story
you
that I told that was the most famous is that I came home with cases of Applejack cereal. But anyway, I'm sitting on the bowl and I'm reading this paper, and sure enough, this comes to mind, and I start to read the blotter.
So I got to say, I'm a little worried. He just handed me this paper that he was reading on the toilet.
Yeah. Do you wash your hands after you shit?
Never.
Is this clean?
Never.
God.
You never washed your hands after
Did you
shit.
notice what paper it's from?
Daily News?
No.
Post.
Exactly, Post. That's also one of my favorite weird but true. But anyway, read the story quickly. I asked him to read it because he's going to read it like a
newscaster?
like a newscast.
I'm not a newscaster. Oh, I see what you're talking about. A group of thieves burglarized a train car loaded with cases of beer, authorities said. Trayvon Samuel, 22, told cops he acted as a lookout while his accomplices broke into a rail yard on Otto Road near 68th Place in Glendale.
Same exact fucking place, dude.
Same place. The thieves busted
Same
a lock
exact
on the train car and hauled out 45 cases of Corona, but wound up without the brewskis for their trouble, the complaint said.
Why?
Cops found Samuel hiding underneath a white car with cases of beer on the ground, no more than 5 feet from where he was cowering, according to the complaint. He was charged with burglary, criminal mischief, and petty larceny, among other offenses, records show. His beer buddies are still in the wind.
What I found
In the wind.
What I found amazing about when I read this story is that I realized that I did this 30 fucking years ago. And it's that there's someone ain't smart enough to say, well, apparently the fucking lock that we put on train doors is pretty easy to break open.
Well, yeah. Well, it's,
How did you break it open?
But I have to say, there was one time that we got how'd you break it open? It's like a Teflon ribbon.
Teflon?
But it's metal. It's not like soft like a tape. And so it's very, you can spin it and spin it and spin it, and all it does is keep getting tighter and tighter. But you would take a crowbar and put it behind it and start to spin it like a screw. And eventually it would get so wound up that it would break, and then you open the door. I mean, sometimes it popped in 5 minutes, sometimes it popped in 15 minutes.
But the thing was, you never knew what was in the cars. Is that right?
No.
So these guys probably didn't know that it was beer. They just were
there was
lucky.
times that we spent 15 minutes popping the seal and opened the door, and it was fucking empty. Yeah.
But cereal, that's a pretty good score.
Cereal.
Why were you so excited about Apple Jacks?
I like cereal.
I don't remember. I don't know why I was excited about the Apple Jacks, But, of course, the beer stories and the wine. There was one time we got red wine that was pretty fucking crazy. But exactly how they say the kid was laying underneath the car, that's how you did look out. Cops didn't look underneath cars as they drove past the street. They looked for shadows up against buildings.
So if you were a lookout, you were under the car.
You want to take the car, and you usually use the whistle. You know what I'm saying? Like, someone...
Was it like West Side Story? What?
No, but you... Listen, if you were going to commit a crime and you knew that you were going to get caught or had the chance of getting caught, wouldn't you want to try and at least, alleviate most of those chances of getting caught?
I don't have these internal dialogues. I've got to tell you, like my biggest,
You're not robbing trains?
I have like a beer on the train home, and that's my biggest sort of
That's your
concern.
crime? That's your
my
crime?
crime. Is I'm like, am I over the limit? Am I not? I don't know.
Wow, the one time I served jury duty, it was a trial.
It was for
Wayne? It was for Wayne. Somebody
Yeah.
robbed a train car. No, it was for a lookout. They tried to. We had to convict a lookout, but we didn't convict him.
Yeah, good. Leave him off.
Well, I mean, who's to say? He was standing around on the street, and they said he was a lookout for a drug deal, and we are like, what? You can't hang around in front of your apartment building anymore?
Can't loiter.
Well, okay. So who's to say? Maybe the guy under the car was just under the car.
He wasn't. Trust me, he was underneath the car.
I hear you. He had
So,
beer strewn
What
around.
is the plan of Wayne for employment? Like, what is the... Because you won't work here anymore.
I'm not saying I wouldn't work here. That's not what I do. You're gonna
Work?
Yeah, I don't work. I'm done working.
I'll give him that because painting is difficult.
Painting
you have to
sucks.
have
It's
you have
not
to have the
that-
supplies. You have to have the ladders.
It's not that it's difficult. He has all that, and I
have
can
it
do
all.
that. He's already done it himself.
I've done it. I've painted the entire front of my house myself. But I'm so busy working on this game right now, I don't have to... And half the fucking, like, paint / stain was blown off the fucking house and sandblasted off in that goddamn storm, so the place looks like shit.
And not for nothing, he's one of the people that should be thinking about going up a couple feet.
Do you really think, dude, there's so many houses around here
Do I think so?
that are getting jacked up?
Dude, you were
a
at
few- 2 or
fucking
3
ground
feet.
level.
They can
You
do
don't have
that.
to tell me I had ocean in my fucking garage.
I had ocean in my shoes.
There's a lot of houses around here that are getting put up on stilts.
Jacked up in the air, 11 feet.
You can do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can just pick up the house and raise it up 11
Yeah.
feet.
It depends on the type house.
What's
that it
amazing
yeah,
is-
but yes.
How the hell do you do that?
Well, you give a deposit, and then the Incredible Hulk comes and lifts it up, and they put cinder blocks on
Well, I
it.
mean, how do you all the pipes and all the things like that?
I don't-
They disconnect like the electric service and the
That's
plumbing service.
crazy.
And then literally they dig under the house and they take railroad ties, railroad tracks, and put them underneath the house.
And then
put
they
it-
sing a Johnny Cash tune.
And then they put a jack underneath the railroad ties and they start to jack it up.
Move somewhere else.
No, dude, that's the funniest thing about Long Beach right now. It's not funny at all. Is that there's a lot of people right now that are leaving, that are saying, wow, I can't fucking take this again and again and again.
Yeah.
Yeah, the smart people.
Yes.
Well, you can consider it smart, but real estate by the ocean never loses its value. No matter
Except when there's no more land
Yeah,
anymore.
I got to.
The
I
house
say
is
I got to
washed
agree.
away.
I disagree with that because there's houses on the north shore of this island. When I say north shore, it's like literally 3 blocks from here. That their houses have gotten flooded so many times, they're walking away from their fucking mortgages. They're done.
Well, I can understand that you walk away, but your house is never going to lose its value.
When this become a real estate show,
Yeah,
really,
yeah,
let's
exactly.
get back to freebase.
Let's get back to your health.
And all-
So what's
your
going
health.
on with
What's
your health?
going on with your health?
My health is fine.
No,
You just said it was bad in the first
said it
half of the
was
I'm
show.
smoking a higher quality of weed. And look out. I'm coming
So
back.
you said that you had to go get a stress test.
I belong going this month for a stress test.
Okay, here's the thing. You are probably the least stressed person I've ever known.
I
Even
have
when
to-
you're out of money.
I have to agree, but when they get to mile fucking 2 on the treadmill, fucking Wayne's gonna be chugging.
Wait, is that what the stress test is? They make you walk 2 miles on a treadmill?
Run. I think the woman told me I'm gonna start walking and then have to do like a run and then come back down. And
When was the last time you exercised?
yeah, it's been a while, I gotta say.
Before or after you robbed the train?
When you mean exercise, as to what?
Exercise.
Like, do I go to the gym and perform a workout?
Yeah, play
yeah.
basketball,
You
run.
can't afford the gym.
No.
No, I know, but you could run on the boardwalk or you could play basketball
Have
or
you?
whatever.
What are you being sarcastic? Fucking boardwalk.
Well,
the
before it
boardwalk's
was wiped
gone.
away,
Well,
yes, whatever.
I do a lot of walking, and I walk the streets. So, but I prefer to walk the boardwalk. I
Okay.
prefer the bicycle, the boardwalk.
All right, there you go. So that's exercise, riding your bike.
Yeah, but I really haven't done that since before Sandy. there might have been a week or two last year, in like I want to say late August, September, when I noticed the bathing suit, the Velcro didn't quite meet in the front. But then what happens is you find one in the back of the drawer. That's no problem meeting and closing.
How much did you masturbate when there was no electricity?
I gotta say, I didn't think about masturbating, and
Yeah.
I didn't have internet. You don't got internet, you don't got porn, you don't think about jerking off.
You don't think about like stuff in your head?
Yeah, I do, but that don't work anymore. It's like you need the visual.
Yeah.
You know, it's like even back in the day, the Victoria's Secrets could kind of start getting you going.
I have to say that we've been changed. Like if you think about when you watch television now, you always have to have something else going on. You're on the internet, you're on your iPhone, you're on your laptop. There's no just sort of focusing on TV anymore, and I think that's one of the reasons that TV, ratings
See?
are in such shit.
I disagree with Lazlow, and I'm
What?
surprised you haven't brought this up yet. I watch a lot of TV.
I
Sure.
noticed. You're unemployed.
Did you watch the Bible?
No.
You
Oh,
did?
dude, he is so into this fucking Bible show.
Why
He's
are you
like-
into the Bible?
Dude, and he was surprised about the ending. He's like, Jesus dies.
I didn't know
Yeah,
Jesus
spoiler
died.
alert. Wait,
I have
are you,
to-
are you
I have
being
to-
serious?
I have to say, I went to Catholic school
Yeah.
and Catholic high school, and I've never really read the Bible cover to cover, let alone passage to psalm, as you may want to say.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But I did find that the person who produced this 5-part series seemed to tell the story in a much more understanding way. Which I want to say is like, you know, when you're a young kid and you pick up a Bible and it's written in Latin,
Yeah.
it's very hard to understand what you're reading. You can read those passages sometimes 2 or 3 times over, and you may not really get the benefit of the tale being told. But I found that the person that wrote the movie took the time to make it that more people would actually understand faith.
So is it Old Testament or New Testament? That's
Old Testament.
So no Jesus, really.
Well, Jesus, yes, there was some Jesus. You know, the birth of Jesus, of course, and then
Well, that's the New
to the
Testament.
crucifixion. Well, no, it went back to Moses and Samson. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
It told,
so it's the whole Bible.
it's
The
basically the
cruci
whole
what? The
Bible.
cruci what?
Crucifixion.
Crucifixion.
So, but anyway, if you ever want to check something out, go online and check out how the Romans crucified people. They were the fucking masters of fucking torture. The masters. There was no way more of torturing a person than fucking the way that Christ, if the story is true, was brutalized.
Has he become a born again? What
Kind of has,
just happened
man.
here?
Yeah,
Jeb Bush up in here.
I told you it made me believe more in faith. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And if the
So
story
a TV show did that.
That's good.
So if you watch Mad Men, you'd
I
be
just
really
explained to it.
advertising.
No, I just explained to him what the miniseries the Bible did for me was kind of make it understand the Bible more than I ever did when I read it. I even
So
said to-
television was it's better. The televised version is much better than the begat version. Is what you're
Well,
saying.
yes, I will say. And
So
there-
you've never actually read any part of the Bible.
yes, I have, but did I understand what I read?
Nobody
Probably not.
understands it.
No.
Evidently, it says if a woman cheats on you, you can beat the fuck out of her. That's what it says. Which,
true.
hey, well, I'm in.
Stoner to death.
Stone of the fucking.
Well, what did
bitch
you
to
think
death.
about the guy who played the devil who's supposed to look like Obama? Did you think it looked like Obama?
Well, yes, after that was written in the paper, yes, of course, he has some similarities to Obama, but by any means, when I watched it, did I think, oh my God, they put Obama in as the fucking devil? No.
You didn't?
No.
Okay. What was your favorite part?
The birth of Jesus. I will. And I'm going to explain to you why. Because I'm saying to my wife, it's amazing, like, when you do a period piece, how well costumes and design can actually make that look authentic.
Was Jesus wearing a watch?
Well, no. But anyway,
Swatch.
when the birth of Jesus actually happens in the fucking manger, they focus in on Mary's teeth, on her mouth, screaming, because she's having the birth of a baby. There's not,
baby?
Yeah,
it's
she's
the
having
Savior.
Well, all right, the Savior. But there's not one fucking cavity. There's not one chipped tooth. These things are polished. Like, he goes to the dentist every fucking week. And I was like, come on, give us some black olives or some chocolate or something and scar those fucking pups. There was no dentist. No one worried about their teeth at that time in life. You know what I'm saying to you? But I just found it funny that when I mentioned that to my wife, in one of the papers she read, she found that was the one flaw in the movie, that the people who were the stars looked kind of too clean.
Yeah, they should have, mucked them up a bit.
They should have, fucking dirtied them up and made them, sweaty and smelly. But
how many days did you go without showering?
When?
During the storm.
Maybe the first 2. And
that's right. You bathed after that.
I fucking mastered that hot water bath. Mastered it.
Yes, you did.
Actually, I boiled so much fucking water in my apartment that the first weekend that Colleen came home, she had to wash the walls in the bathroom.
Because there was just funk on the walls
kitchen
of your...
and the living room.
Like, you stewing in a pot, and then that funk on the wall.
Don't listen. I boiled so much water. And as you know, boil a pot of water, you just don't put it on. It takes 10 or 15 minutes, and I would walk away. And the steam, of course, would fill the room up, which with no heat kind of was a nice thing, too.
Kind of nice.
Well, I smoked so much fucking weed and cigarettes that literally when you woke up in the morning and looked at the walls, brown lines was running down the walls. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You smoked so much that they were actually... It was...
Me and Miguel, we burnt it, baby.
We gotta have Miguel on the show.
Yeah, exactly.
If we can find him, he's probably in the slammer now. Violated his parole with his
He's out
oak
right
piss. What was it
he's
again?
Out right now.
What did he drink to clear
Golden
up?
Seal.
Golden Seal.
But he came up dirty for weed.
Yeah, so I had when I was doing the Technophile at the radio station here on Long Island, they said, well, you've got a national show. You're very important to us financially. We want to get a life insurance policy on you because they saw that I was quite a reckless human being. So they said, we're getting a life insurance policy on you, and we're going to have a guy come in and give you, a drug test and everything. And
he's going to fill your scrotum.
I said, okay, well, that's great. So they said, he'll be here in a month because they figured that would give me enough time to
get clean.
Yeah, pour your beverage there. Wait. So I forgot about it. Yeah. I went off to fucking Costa Rica or Jamaica or some kind of bullshit, and the guy called up and he's like, hey, coming to do the drug test. I'm like, I'm going to fail like a motherfucker. I told the guy that was doing the test that I was going to fail. I'm like, I'm going to fail. There's no way I'm going to pass your drug test.
Did he laugh or did he look sternly?
And so that's the thing about these big, these insurance policies that they put on entertainers or whatever, like
No, I don't know. Don't tell me.
I mean, but you hear about those.
No, I don't hear about those.
No, you hear about like a chick.
You're the only one I know that's famous. So
the chick in their tits fucking insured and stuff like that.
Yeah, their legs.
Yeah,
Jennifer Lopez's ass.
I had my tits insured.
Good.
Yeah.
How much for each?
Dude,
$40.
Yeah, $40. It was good.
Well, I gotta say, you better get them insured because they've gotten bigger in the past.
What are you talking about? I lost 20 pounds.
Yeah, but you don't lose the boobs.
No, the boobs are gone.
You never lose the boobs. You got man boobs. That's just face it.
I do not have man boobs.
If we was on the beach, you got man
boobs. Dude,
boobs.
I'm the skinniest I've been in fucking 5 years.
Let's see him. Stand up. And if you got any protrusion at all, I'm not giving you the $100 out. Oh, he's looking smooth.
There's no man boobs there.
Whoa.
Look at that. I told you I've lost weight.
Oh, don't flex. Don't flex.
I'm doing the rest of this fucking show.
You're going to do it shirtless.
You need to pierce those puppies.
I thought you were running and shit.
I am running.
All right, so
I'm running
there
a
you
fucking
go.
race soon.
Looks
All
better.
right.
Looks better than me.
Yeah.
Thanks.
But you're 50 and you don't do anything, so.
No, and I don't really aspire to want to look like that. It doesn't really.
Does your wife ever give you pressure to lose a few?
For the health of living longer, yes, of course.
But you're going to be dead soon, right?
But not for
if that happens, so be it. Could have happened in one of those hotel rooms 30 years ago.
Yeah, when you were jacking off on two girls eating each other out?
Maybe.
That's the way to go, though, if you want to go.
I have to say, I always got more aroused when one of my friends would start penetrating more than just watching them perform. Yes, to watch a live sex act is more exciting to me than to watch two women just kind of lap at one another. Like if you were to start hammering Reed in the ass, that would be more exciting than you eating Reed's ass, wouldn't it?
Not for me.
Hold on a second. So you get excited seeing... I don't understand this.
Yeah, all right, so hold on. Me and you were single, and we're away. We're in Hawaii, and we pick up one chick.
Hawaii.
Go back to the hotel room, and you start banging her.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to get excited if you start banging her in front of me.
Here's the thing. We won't be fucking in the same room you are. I've never understood this. I will not be fucking in the same room that you are.
Well, I got to say.
You're lost.
So you fuck in the same room as other people?
I would. That's not going to stop
Have
me.
you fucked in the same room as other people?
Yes, I have.
That's swinger shit.
That's not swinging shit. Let's go with the flow. Swinging shit is like when you're like, yo, this is my wife, and I'm tired of banging her. You want to bang her? I want to watch you bang my wife.
So what are the other people in the room doing while you're doing what you're doing?
I got to say.
Jacking off.
Yeah,
Is that what they're doing?
Somewhat, yeah. Do you want me to say, do you remember when we went to the porn shoot?
Yes.
Me, you, and Lazlow were the three biggest dicks in the room.
We were not, but I gotta say that was
At some
the
point,
opposite.
I wish you would have reached over and touched my ball sack and something, just to have fucking made it more memorable.
Oh, it was memorable,
Since
all right.
that day, I don't imagine how any woman in the world don't take it in the ass.
Wait,
Those
why?
two chicks took it in the ass like it was fucking nothing.
Well, but it was their job.
Here's the deal. They are porn stars.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
like saying...
They're women. We fuck women. All women should be the same.
Yes, but if you also recall, when we got there, we had to wait 2 hours for them to hide out in the bathroom while they got about 100 enemas in a row.
Yeah, because they
Yeah,
didn't
that-
want dick on... Like,
Yeah.
shit on their dick.
Well,
Do you remember
yeah,
that?
The guys.
Yeah, so, you know.
No, I gotta say that porn shoot was the least sexy thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, dude, it scarred me.
It scarred me too.
It fucked me up.
Did you think it was hot, Wayne?
Did I just not say I get off on watching live sex?
Yes, but that was not.
Yes, no. Yes, I walked away from that thinking, how does any girl say I don't take it in the ass? Those two girls took it in the ass and they were yelling out my fucking name. Come on.
If you were gonna
That
give
was
a
true.
girl,
They were yelling his name out while taking it in the ass. Remember that?
They were yelling out Wayne's name.
Yeah, that fucking Mia Bang. Come on, you don't forget that shit.
No, you're right.
Come on.
It's all up here.
Exactly.
But they were probably getting, $1,000 or whatever for their trouble. I'm sure if you found a girl and you were
I
going
don't
to give her
think Joe.
$1,000.
I don't think Joe Calat was Joe.
No, he was getting $50 in
Yeah.
bus fare. But
No, I did find out from talking to porn stars recently that it used to be $1,500 was the shoot amount. Like that's how much you get paid per shoot
The shoot. So that mean like for the whole movie, like
for
so,
the whole movie. So for that whole
so she could be shooting for 7 days.
no, dude, 7 days. What are you making a narrative? No, dude, just one night.
All
It's
right.
one night.
$1,500 for one night.
$1,500, but because of internet porn and piracy, and because you can find porn all over the place, it's gone down. Like porn stars now get paid like $700-800.
I don't pay him nothing.
But what I'm saying, when you like porn stars for a shoot get
That's-
paid nearly half of what they used to, because the internet, there's just so much free porn out
Just
there.
been devalued.
So read.
Yeah,
So
but I did talk to this one porn star that said the things that are making money are the spoof ones. I talked to a guy who was in the Star Trek porn, and he told me that if you can get a niche where you can be like Scotty on
yeah.
the Starship Enterprise, fucking Uhura in the butt,
That's where it's at.
That's where it's at.
I've seen those.
So now you've got to be. Of course you
Where have
have.
you
Well, I
seen
haven't
them?
seen them, but I've seen them online. They have
Yeah.
Star Wars ones. They have like Superman and
Wonder
all sorts
Woman,
of nerdy,
and,
Wonder Woman, all the nerdy ones.
All those things those actually get purchased by nerds.
Really?
So the porn stars now are all trying to be like, there's the chick that looks
Interesting.
like Sarah Palin.
oh
Well, I
yes.
love fucking
Who
a Sarah
would buy
Palin.
that one?
I would.
You would buy that? You would
You
buy
want to
Sarah
fuck
Palin?
Sarah Palin in the butt.
I would fuck Sarah Palin.
In the butt.
In the mouth, in the ass, whatever.
Sarah Palin
I
does
gotta
not
tell
turn me
you,
on.
I would fuck Sarah Palin over her fucking daughter. Dancing with the fucking pig stars.
Yeah, her daughter's not cute.
Yeah, not at all.
Bristol,
I couldn't think of her name.
How old is she?
She's 20 or something like that now. She's still...
20, already got a 3-year-old child or whatever.
I can't fuck
Yeah.
those Kardashian chicks.
No, they're
Dude,
not
that ass.
cute.
I just don't understand. Who was
ass.
ever into that big fat ass?
You know?
Terrible.
Rappers.
Do you know something, though? But maybe we need to try that one time. To get
No,
hooked.
dude, I fucked a chick with a big fat ass.
So you fucked a big fat ass?
I fucked a big fat ass in college. A sorority fat ass.
Are you sure did you just fuck the ass or did you penetrate the hole?
I I've penetrated some
Because
shit.
some of them got such big fat asses, you never actually make
Dude,
even
it's
the
too
whole.
much to fucking.
You just fucking ass cheek.
It is too
You
much.
never heard of that, Reed?
No.
Wow.
No, I told you I live a sheltered life. What do you want from me?
How is the love life?
Good. I'm married.
Oh my god.
You know what you just said?
What?
You sleep on the couch 2 nights a week.
No, I don't. I've never slept on the couch my entire life.
Have you gotten in a big fight yet?
Yes.
Not big ones, no.
But big enough to where like you're not getting pussy for
No.
days. No.
That's
Never
good.
happened,
Should
no.
never be like that.
Dude, we've never even met his wife. That's what fucks me up
I got-
about this friendship.
Have you ever been busted jerking off yet?
No.
Do you still
What?
jerk off?
Yes. But no, I mean, we don't have fights. I mean, I've never slept on the couch. I've never been kicked out.
This fictional wife is bullshit.
She's real.
Is she?
And are
That's
you
interesting that she's
Are
never
you
fucking
expecting
come around.
anytime soon?
Expecting?
Yeah, are you gonna have kids?
Are you gonna have kids and ruin it? Are you gonna be the Yoko Uno again of the fucking
Yoko
Lazlow-
Uno.
of the Lazlow show?
What is this?
Break
Where
it
you
up?
draw 4, reverse Yoko Uno? What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know. We may. Who knows? I don't know.
Here's
But
the
why
thi-
would that break everything up?
Here's the thing that's crazy, is that adults now, like you had back in the day when we were growing up, you had to fucking have kids and be done with it, and people at like 23 had 4-year-olds. And now people are like 39 years old. They're like, yeah, maybe we'll have kids someday. It's like, who wants a fucking teenager when they're 62? Fuck that shit.
I don't know. I could dig a teenager.
Yeah, I gotta tell you though, if you come to my neighborhood though, you will never want to have kids because it's all just the
Hamsters?
No,
Oh, sorry.
you know, entitled white people with strollers that
Oh,
cost
dude.
$900.
There's nothing worse.
What part of Brooklyn are you in?
Park Slope.
Oh, you are in
I know we were at
Hollywood.
we don't even go out anymore because it's all overrun by kids. So we go out a few weeks ago to.
Hold on a second. You don't go out of your apartment anymore?
Well, we do, but we don't go out in the neighborhood. I mean,
When you're saying you don't go out, you don't go
In-
out to like clubs or restaurants?
no, not in our neighborhood. Because it's all overrun by. Well, we do occasionally when it's not for
You hate
fun.
children so much that you can't be in their presence?
Not that, but they've just overrun everything. You know, there was a new restaurant that opened up the street for me, and it was
It's called Arnold's.
McDonald's?
yeah, McDonald's. I do live by a McDonald's. No, it was a nice Italian restaurant. You know, like $25 entrees, and there were people outside.
That's what makes it
Picketing.
nice?
$25 entrees. That's called an expensive place.
Yes, expensive. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, nice.
Yes, I said
Okay.
nice. So
Okay.
and. Very nice Italian restaurant, and the people in the neighborhood were picketing it because it did not have a children's menu. They stood outside with pickets,
Dude,
and they forced
parents
the
are terrible.
Italian place to put on a child's menu.
Parents they're so full of themselves. They think
Yeah.
the whole world should revolve around their children.
I know. I'm saying we're going.
And then if I was a parent, I would think the whole world should revolve around my child.
probably.
I probably would. That's
But
why I
then
don't have
that's why your
children.
friends got to keep you in check
That's
and
why-
be like, dude, come on.
So you're not having kids. Is what
Well, we
you're
don't
saying.
know. I'm saying, but if I
do you mean
do,
you don't know?
I'm not going to be that entitled
You will
bastard.
be.
How old are you?
You will be, dude.
How old are you?
39.
I will tell you that you
I'll
will
tell
be.
You
No,
go-
I will not be.
The
Because
bullshit,
I've lived
dude.
in that neighborhood long enough, I
Every
know.
friend that I have that has a kid becomes a fucking.
He's
I
got
promise
four.
you.
He's got 4 more years. and
I
he's
will
done.
not be sending out cute things on Facebook. I will not be like
Do you still have turgid erections?
turgid.
Yes.
What does
a
that
turgid
mean?
cock.
What does that even mean?
A big throbbing penis like you did when you were 20.
No.
Well,
It's
no,
getting
except when I
mushier
do
now.
coke. Yeah,
It's getting mushier now, isn't it?
Sure, everything's getting a little softer
Everything's
on the
getting
body.
soft.
You know,
Testosterone starting
But
to
did you
drop?
like it
Yeah.
when I took my shirt off?
that was pretty hot.
That
yeah.
was. Did you notice that I've lost 20 pounds?
I did not notice.
me either.
no.
How did you not notice?
But I didn't think you were
How-
fat before.
We didn't see you with the 20 pounds on before.
I thought you said you gained the 20 pounds after hurricane.
What happens is I gain pounds during games. Like when I'm working real hard on a game, I just eat a bunch of garbage. And then after the hurricane, I did gain a ton of fucking weight.
You had nothing else to do.
You have nothing else to do but eat.
But eat the shit because you're worried that you're going to throw your fucking money out the window.
Yeah.
I did the same thing, man.
All right.
Without a
So
doubt.
Wayne was telling me when he was a cokehead, and people would leave the room and there'd be a pile on the table.
Oh, yes.
You'd slide some of the coke in.
You were dipping.
You would take it away. You would take it to do later.
Yeah.
Wow.
And what you would do is, if you were real swift and smart and you smoke cigarettes like this pack here, you would break out the back of the aluminum foil of the pack. This piece back here.
Right.
And if you take your time and break it out, it's a nice
Hold it up to the mic.
And if you break it... Oh, can they see it?
Yes.
Can you now see the piece of the back of the cigarette pack? Well, if you take the time and break it out, it's a little more square and neat, and you can fold it and actually make a little pouch. And as you swipe the cocaine, put it in here, and then what you would do is you would put it actually back in your cigarette pack back there.
So you would steal people's coke?
You would steal
For later.
For later.
So somebody was generous enough to give you cocaine.
I have to say, generosity is desperation to have someone hang out with you while they're getting high.
Yeah.
That's what generosity really is. Because you're getting high by yourself and you kind of realize, holy shit, I'm the only one fucking here that's a little fucking wacky. And the more that you start to give it to people, you start to realize that, hey, the party is around me and about me. So you tend to even throw it around more.
And you feel like a big shot.
Yeah, yes. Without a doubt, you feel like a big shot, yeah. But back in the day, there was so many tricks or whatever, however you want to. If someone came to me and said, "Oh, can you get me an 8-ball of cocaine?" You would say to them, "Yeah, I can get it for you. It'd be $300." And $300 was the legit price to go for me and get an 8-ball of cocaine. But by any means did I leave that dealer's house and give you the 8-ball that was given to me.
Oh, so you took some.
You swiped some out.
You would fucking step on it and fucking just put baking soda on top of it.
That's nice.
Which most cocaine is cut with anyway.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? That you're just making the percentage of the cocaine that was in there originally even less. So by any means was I copping something that was still 90% cocaine, if you understand what I'm saying. So maybe what I was copping was maybe 70% cocaine, I want to say.
So these chicks that you would tell to eat each other out, they would eat each other out?
After a while, yeah, sure. They take their tops off and hang out topless, sure.
Really?
Where are these girls? They don't exist anymore.
Just dead.
They do exist. You've never been involved in that circle of people.
You're right, I have
So
not.
you would just tell them to hang out with their tops off?
Well, you just wouldn't tell them. You'd kind of be like, yo, it'd be cool if you two were topless, like that, like stoner. And eventually see if they were going to bite. And if they bit, well, then, yeah, you kept, trying to get them higher and fucking stoner. That eventually.
And then you would fuck them.
If you could. Some of them not all were up for fucking. Some of them some of them well knew how to control the game also. They just wanted to get high. They knew they didn't have to promote.
Promote.
Well, speaking of kids.
Speaking of kids.
Well, we were talking about kids before.
Yeah.
Baby Jaguar. Did you see the picture I sent you?
Dude, Jaguar Skills.
On
if you
Twitter.
followed this show at all, Jaguar Skills was he was a guy that got in touch with us early on. He was a big fan of GTA, and he was a fan of this show. And he said, he wanted to be involved. And so we made like weird sort of old school radio cartoon kind of things, like a serial. And they were fun back when we had time to make those kind of things. And then we sort of ran out of time. And what are you doing over there?
It's one of the old cocaine moves. If you had a bag of cocaine like this, you let it be known that you had this bag of cocaine. Because then everyone in the room was going to pretty much either have to buy from you or perform for you.
But why were you waving your bag of drugs
I'm trying
in
to
front
show
of
Reed.
Reed?
Yeah, I don't care.
He doesn't care.
I'm not going to suck your dick, dude.
But
You say that now, a couple bumps later.
Very true.
so we fought.
Before you know it, you're calling me in the
Here's
middle
the
of
thing.
the night.
I think the next show we all do coke.
I have to pass.
You
I
won't
would do Oxycontins.
All right.
How about just Reed and I do coke?
I've never done an Oxycontin if you got an Oxycontin.
Well, you got to go loot the pharmacy up the street.
Yeah.
Next storm, dude.
Next storm, it just might be there. Gotta hustle.
But back to Jaguar Skills, because
Dude.
when this dude was on the show in the first place, I believe
Remember, he would overdose.
he was living in a car in Scotland or
And then
something.
at some point, he was in Spain on top of a mountain
Yeah.
with a ninja master.
So he's a DJ, but he plays with a ninja costume on. And
Yeah, he wears a hood.
Yeah.
He was a mess. And I have to tell you what the weirdest thing in the world for me was, we started doing this stupid show of ours back in 2005. I mean, that's how old this fucking bullshit is that we've been doing. 8 years we've been doing this nonsense. And it just keeps getting less frequent and less frequent. And so I'm in England like a year ago doing interviews for Max Payne 3. And I go to the BBC, which I always it's an honor to be invited to come into the BBC. What a fantastic journalistic organization. And to be on any of those guys' shows, fantastic people. And they're always very professional and cool, as opposed to when you go to radio shows in the United States and it's a bunch of dipshits. So I go in there and people are like, you know Jaguar Skills. I'm like, what? What? And Jaguar Skills is now massive.
He is massive.
He is massive in fucking England. Huge. He's DJing in front of 1 billion people at festivals.
He has his own show on the BBC with this guy called Trevor Nelson, who's huge.
Huge.
My wife is British, and so sometimes we listen to BBC, over the internet, and it was on, I think, last Sunday or a couple of Sundays ago in the house, and we're listening to That Happens on BBC, and all of a sudden, Jaguar Skills is on there. I'm like, what is happening
He's
right
massive.
now? So I'm on. I follow him on Twitter now. Well, I'm on Twitter, by the way. Reed_Tucker. Everyone follow me.
Really?
Yeah. I have like 100 followers. Jaguar Skills.
You need more. I've got 6,000. I never Twitter.
But you don't have any?
You don't do Facebook?
I'm telling you,
I don't do Facebook.
I'd say I have 6,000 followers.
That's pretty good.
I don't.
Jaguar
I never
Skills
send out any
has
kind of shit out.
62,000. I looked it up. People are all over him. He's like a superstar.
They love him. He's massive.
I think we made him.
So he was a fucking drug addict.
Yep.
Remember when we were talking to him years ago? Overdosing. He was a mess.
Yep.
And then Reed sends me an email the other day. Jaguar Skills has a kid.
That he also dresses up as a ninja. So he sends me
dresses
this
his
photo of this little baby. He's got a ninja mask on. It's crazy.
Crazy as shit.
So one day, Wayne, you too could rule the England DJ waves.
Yeah.
You never know what could become of you.
Not interested. But you dropped a little bomb there. Dude, I never knew your wife was British.
Yep.
You never... Dude, we got invited... Hello.
Yes, I know it was in England, but I just thought that was like a whole, look at me, I'm getting married, I'm in England.
No.
Yeah, he is pretty
Does she have a
fancy.
Cockney accent?
No.
No?
Do you ever...
Does she ever go? Do you ever
Does she have a... But she has a proper British accent.
Yes, she
Why
does.
why won't you fucking bring
so
her
she
around?
has a Cockney accent if she has a British accent.
It's not Cockney. Cockney is
Why-
a specific part.
Why won't you
Yes.
bring her around?
I'll bring her around.
Here's the deal.
Does she snort cocaine?
We'll come out to the beach one day.
She like to do cocaine?
No.
How weird is it that you and I have been friends
I know.
for a long fucking time?
Well, I'll say this, but you guys, except for working, you're not in the city much. So you're most of your life is out
And-
here.
The guy that tags along with you, me, is a little embarrassing.
Yeah.
No, she would love you, dude. Who wouldn't love you?
That's what I say.
You could tell her the stories. No, but I'm saying we don't come out to Long Island that much.
And so you're not
Well,
having kids.
You know what?
Well, we don't have
Liza's
them.
got a whole room. You can come out for a weekend.
Okay.
You have a spare bedroom.
That's
Yeah.
true. We'll come out to the beach one day
You
this
experience
summer.
a little restaurant and spend some money, and I'll
Is
find
she
town that
redheaded?
needs
She's
it.
not a redhead, is she?
No.
Yeah, I'm really not into redheads.
She has
I just don't
dark
really
hair.
like them in my house.
What about me?
Yeah, I don't really like it.
Is your sister band?
Yeah, because you have too many moles. You have like skin problems.
True, I have so many
I'll bring
cut
it-
off.
You
I'll
got
bring an
skin
umbrella.
cancer.
I'm actually going this month to have
Dude,
something
I
looked
know.
at.
I can't get in the sun.
I got something on the back that ain't looking
Reed
too well.
cannot go out in the sun. He's got like skin cancer.
I'll bring the
problems.
umbrella for you.
All right, I'll sit under the umbrella.
And
So can you not go to the beach and just lay out?
do you know that they actually?
Yeah, just sit in the shade.
Do you actually know that they
Honestly?
sell
Yeah, yeah.
shirts that
Are we having
have?
two fucking conversations here?
Yeah, I know.
Well, you
or I
keep
wear
cutting me
long
off.
sleeves.
Do you know that they actually sell clothes that have UV protection
I have
in
seen
them?
that. I don't believe it. So I sit under an umbrella and then wear a
You know
long
something?
sleeve shirt.
I used to say the same thing about suntan lotion. I don't believe it.
Yeah.
I fucking believe it.
No, I believe in suntan lotion.
Wait, hold on a second. You didn't believe in suntan lotion?
Dude, actually, I'm bringing back something this year that is coming back from. I'm going back retro. I'm from the time when you wear dungaree shorts to the fucking beach, and by the end of the day of being at the
What?
beach, you took a pair of jeans and you cut them off and made shorts.
I've never seen you. You're always.
That's
like,
what I said.
rolling-
I'm bringing them back
Why? It looks retarded.
because I think it needs to come back, and everything comes back. Dungaree shorts are going to come back after the summer. You watch. And the one thing about
Hold
them
on a
is
second. Rather than wearing comfortable bathing
Jams.
suit,
jams. I'm going back to
jams.
jams.
Who wears jams? It's not fucking 1985.
That's what the bathing suits are called.
They're not called jams.
All right.
Isn't that a brand
Right.
No, it's not a brand.
from the
It's not-
80s?
You can wear your OP,
Quicksilver?
I know.
Hobie.
Quicksilver.
Hobie. Yeah, Quicksilver is still around. I remember
Well,
Hobie.
anyway, if either one of you ever wore a pair of dungaree shorts into
I
the
don't
ocean,
call them dungarees. That's what weird people in the fucking farms call shit. Dungarees. That's what they
This-
call jeans.
this is the type of material, dungaree. And
You
you
say I'm
wear-
going to make jean shorts like a faggot.
All right, I'm going to make jean shorts like a faggot, but I'm going to wear them in the water. And then when
But why do you want to wear jeans in the water? It's the least comfortable material to get wet.
I want to bring it back.
Do you think people are looking to you for their fashion cues?
I don't know if they are or not, but I'm going to bring them back.
I can tell you, they're not.
They're not. Yeah, I'm going to say that I would agree. They're not.
We'll see next year when jean shorts are being sold off the shelves.
Okay. Great. As soon as old rock star stained T-shirts are being sold off the shelves, then I'll believe you had something to do with it.
I got a couple old rock star T-shirts without a doubt.
He's got a lot of old rock star gear. He's been hooked up for many years.
I know. That's 90% of his wardrobe.
Yes, it is.
It seems to have dropped off lately, though. Lazlow gives the shit away like it's coming out of his paycheck. Do you know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing.
It's like he might give you the thread to make the T-shirt before he gives you the T-shirt.
Well, he probably doesn't get unlimited access.
Oh,
I
got unlimited access.
He's got unlimited access to the games.
Then what the hell, man?
I have access to all of it.
Yeah.
See?
Damn.
I have access to all of it.
I'll send you guys a free New York Post any day you want.
All you have to, at Christmas time, I used to find was the best time that they gave away stuff. Carhartt sweatshirts.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking nice stuff.
But no longer.
Nah, I'm cut.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think you're off the teat?
Because he's afraid that it's going to come out of his paycheck at some point.
No.
He's like, that's fucking 25 cents I could have made.
Because I don't see him much anymore. Because I'm trying to get him to come over and paint my house. He won't.
Exactly.
He's going to pay me a Rockstar T-shirt, see?
Should we shut this down? Are we done with episode, 49? Episode 50, where are we doing it?
44.
we should probably do it back at XM or something.
They're going to let us in there.
I think so. They've gotten rid of Mel Karmazon, the super asshole who is useless and only cares about Howard Stern.
Really?
So, yeah, he's gone.
Wow.
There's new owners. So we might be able to get in there and do a show.
Well, for the 50th birthday, I want cocaine.
Okay.
I want chicks that are going to do the cocaine and then perform
I actually have a
on each
hookup.
other.
The chick that gets all the crazy porn stars for O&A.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've got a contact with her.
Right, we had the wrestlers that one time. Remember them?
Dude, she's the chick actually that got us the Madam.
Oh,
they got Elliot Spitzer's Madam.
I know that girl. She works for like Hustler or Penthouse or
yeah,
one of those
whatever.
magazines.
She's like, if you guys need hookers or strippers for a show, so here's what we do. For your 50th birthday, when is it?
May 22nd.
May 22nd?
Oh, we may not make that.
Soon.
That's soon.
Well, it'll be in the same year as your 50th
whatever.
birthday.
So for your 50th birthday, we should get cocaine, hookers, / porn stars, and some Leonard Skinner.
I got a Leonard Skinner record.
Yeah.
I think if we're going to have hookers, we're going to need some type of, like, dildos and stuff. Well, it's no sense in having hookers if they're not going to, like, perform feats that your wife's not going to perform.
Feats.
Feats, right.
It's like a circus. What are you talking about?
I want, like, dildos the size of my forearm. Do you know what I'm saying?
You weren't German shock porn is what you're talking about.
Dude, we did not mention... I was, we go to Jamaica over Christmas, and I was in Jamaica, and Wayne and I, whenever we were in Jamaica, were always concerned about going to, like, off to these weird pot field things.
He seems too voluntarily wanting to
yeah,
go.
he's very nervous, and I'm like, oh, let's go do it. So I was down there without him, and so this guy was like, let's go to a pot field. Now the thing is, when you go to Jamaica over like the holidays and periods like that. It's like dry season, so there's not a lot of water. So you always imagine when you go into a pot field that there's going to be like 6-foot-high plants, and you're running through them like, yay! And you're rubbing it on your face like a couple of cocks, just loving like a couple of cocks.
30 years I've never thought about running through.
Oh, anyway,
two fucking cocks rubbing.
So anyway, so I made that part up. So you think about these majestic fucking pot plants. We went to this pot field in Jamaica, and the pot plants were about a foot high. They were the tiniest pot plants in the world.
So what, they would just had to grow? You mean it was the off season?
It was the off season. It was dry, so like they would have to actually cart. And the farmer, because the guy that led the tour, he was like, "You're gonna meet the farmer. The farmer, he grow the pot plants. It's gonna be a very mystical operation." So we show up. And he's fucking a midget.
mystical operation. It's called Mother Nature.
Well, maybe the pot plants were only that high because he was a midget.
I think so.
That's so he could reach them.
Yes, I think so. And then the midget's sitting there getting high, and then he hands us a joint, and we're smoking it, and I'm like, I'm getting high with the midget, which I got to tell you, I would recommend never get high with a midget. Dude,
Weird you out?
Yes.
See, I want to tell you something.
Never get high with the midget.
I just remember this from watching. Have you ever heard of the Emerald Triangle?
I think it's the Bermuda Triangle.
No, it's called the Emerald Triangle. It's actually in California. It's in the mountains, and it's like where a lot of serious marijuana is grown in California.
Northern California.
And actually in California, because the life of a marijuana plant is so long, they actually cut them to stunt the growth, to actually make them produce the bud faster. So it wouldn't surprise me that those bushes that you've seen were cut for like a reason.
All I know is there was a midget getting high.
Well, he couldn't reach very much higher either, probably, right?
And he had a waddle. It was a whole thing. It was, dude, it was weird. And then I'm like,
You ever watch midget porn?
When you... No.
It's freaky.
No, I haven't either.
It's freaky.
I watch midget wrestling. It's pretty awesome.
If you think
But I gotta tell you, here's the thing. Seeing a midget on the street is one thing, but being high near a midget is a whole other experience. Very weird.
It's true.
Because you're talking to a guy and you just want to say to him, like, how do you reach shit on top shelves? Like, you just want to, like...
You should discuss that with him.
You want to discuss, like, what's it like being 3.5 foot tall?
I like how he chose that as his vocation, though. He's going to grow
It
weed.
makes sense because you're closer to the earth. If you're growing weed, you are closer to the earth.
I guess that's fair. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So...
Wow. What was his name?
Shorty.
The farmer. I forgot his
Yeah,
name.
no
I
idea.
was so freaked out. And then we're going through the pot field in Jamaica with the midget.
Yeah.
He's like, me grow this stuff. And pot of gold, Lucky Charms. I'm like, what the fuck?
Was there any test samplings or anything? Did he like throw out like a little tray and say, hey, check out my product?
Oh, yeah, you tried it. You tried different stuff.
Try
with it.
before you buy?
Well, you didn't buy anything. He just gave you whatever you want.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Why?
Listen, he was a nice midget. You gotta understand that leprechauns will give you whatever you want. Lucky Charms, gold diamonds, purple horseshoes. They don't give a fuck. They are kind, giving people.
Wow.
So it made me understand that marijuana is grown by small leprechaun-y people. And it makes me appreciate it more that they are working that diligently. The Oompa Loompas are making the weed.
It must be difficult for them, those
Well, listen, Oompa Loompas have it tough, but they're doing a good work. They really are.
Okay.
See, now, when I was down in Jamaica, I wasn't going to the fucking pot farm.
I didn't know you could go to a pot farm.
Oh, yeah. People constantly, hey, come look at the pot farm.
But why? If they're not selling anything, then why do they want you to come?
You can buy some stuff, but,
Oh.
part of the money you gave them, they gave you some stuff to go with you.
Oh, I see. So you have to pay money to tour the pot farm.
Yeah, you pay like
sure.
You're actually paying for the guy's time that drives you to the pot farm, that knows what the pot farm is.
Gotcha.
But I always felt like being from New York. If the guy said to you on 46th Street, hey, come to the back of the alley, I got some good shit. You never went to the back of the alley.
No.
Because it meant you were coming back without your wallet.
Right.
So when these guys first started coming to me, the first year I was in Jamaica, I was like, I ain't going to no fucking pot farm.
He's very skeptical.
Get me in some field, rape my wife, and watch me make me watch
He had
you.
this whole thing. We would have conversations like, they're going to rape my wife. I'm like, dude. And so I went, because I was in Jamaica without him, I went on my own. It was a great time. I met a midget.
Got raped.
I did not get raped, but he had... Dude, the stuff they're growing in Jamaica is fucking strong. Because they've got all those crazy seeds now. They've got the crazy local seeds of, the stuff that is popular in California. California is leading the world in wacky weed. And we don't need it.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't need weed to be that strong.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't.
Mm-hmm. There are people that actually receive medicinal value from this, not unlike me. I receive enjoyment.
On that note,
exactly.
We should shut down episode 49. Episode 50 is going to be big. Whenever we do it, it might be a year from now.
Well, I won't be 50.
We'll do it before you turn 51. We make that promise.
Yes.
All right. Before the next storm.
All right, there you go. Before October.
All right. Thank you very much. This has been the Lazlow Show.
sound, cause I check the sound, cause I check this, check this, check the sound, cause I 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 check.
You better disappear. The fire's in their eyes and their words are really clear. So beat it, just beat it. You better run, you better do what you can. Don't wanna see no blood, don't be a macho man. You wanna be tough, better do what you can. So beat it. But you wanna be bad, just beat it. Beat it. No one wants to beat it. Joe and Hot Funky, don't get shut right. It doesn't matter who's wrong or right. Just beat it. 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 Just beat it.
Hi, this is Michael Jackson.
They told him, don't you ever come around here. Don't wanna see your face, you better disappear. The fire's in their eyes and their words are really clear. So beat it, just beat it. You better run, you better do what you can. Don't wanna see no blood, don't be a macho man. You wanna be tough, better do what you can. So beat it, but you wanna be bad. Come on, children, just beat it.
Beat it.
Beat it.
Beat it.
No one wants to be defeated. Showing how funky and strong is your fight. It doesn't matter who's wrong or right.
Thank you for listening to the Lazlow Show.
That show sucks my ass.
That's only in the morning. You supposed to be up cooking breakfast or somebody.
I want nothing. I want my garden. I want my family. She was pretty and outside and stuff.
Hello?
It's Bob.
Hello.
Hi, it's Bob.
When we ate at Nathan's before, only my chair had the yellow balloon on it.
What are you talking about?
All right, kid. We did it. Woo! Kid? Kid, you all right? Come on, buddy, you all right? Can you hear me? Kid?
If I say yes, will you promise we'll never have to do that again?
Never say never, partner. Never say never.
Rock over London, rock on Chicago, Discover card. It pays to discover.